wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Yeah, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My ground repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, we back.
Yo,
Appreciate you for reaching
you a
out.
star.
I'm like, hey, it's Outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this Outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off, so glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal, could right here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott, the best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know, but if you don't, then you lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is Outspoken, and we go. Outspoken.
What is going on, everybody? It's Monday night. You already know what it is. It's Outspoken, your boy Scotty, and my co-host Perry White as always. But before I bring my co-host up, listen, I got to make a couple quick announcements. Listen, I really killed that. Man, my spelling be off, man. I swear to God, I need to go back to college. Off script Pick'ems is going to be open for everybody, okay? Off-script Pick'ems will be open to everybody Wednesday. You have to tune in Wednesday on the Breakdown Show. I will give you the password to go to Pick'ems. Nobody won last week. I had some close calls, though. I had a person get 8 out of 10. That was damn close. All right, so make sure you tune in on Wednesday. The Breakdown with me, Mike Reed, all that type of stuff. I'll give you the password then to get into the off-script Pick'ems, all right? But without further ado, give it up for my co-host, none other than Perry White. What's good, P? Talk to me.
Yeah, that's what you want. I bring some excitement. Let's go. Get up, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah. So
what's up with it?
It's good, man. I mean, I've had better days. I've had better weekends. I'll tell you that. But it's okay.
Do we need to start today off with a prayer?
No.
I'm about to say, pray for us, Scotty. Pray for the chat.
Listen,
pray for the chat and pray for the stream.
I had Sunday. I had to go to church on Sunday. Woo! Lord have mercy. Pete Bama's was texting me. Where you at, Scotty? Where you going live, Scotty?
What was your testimony?
I felt, one, I asked God, I said, God, why would you do me like that? Like I could have been, I was okay with South Carolina State losing. It was the way that they lost. I wasn't a fan of it. So I just was like, I felt like the kid off the Little Giants when he was talking to his hands. Why you doing this to me, fellas? I clean you. I keep you warm at night. That's how I felt with God. I was like, why you doing me like this, big man? I pray to you. I tithe regularly. That's how you gonna
it's what the old folks say. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
That's why I didn't make the shirts.
Those shirts would have been halfway across the world getting shipped to Cambodia right now for the little kids to be wearing, besides being shipped out for getting some money for them, man. So I'm glad you didn't make the shirts, man.
I would have sent them. I would have sent them to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? They going through a natural thing. Right?
That's America, though, bro. We ain't gonna do America.
They still going through some stuff. Bama's need shirts too.
They gonna throw them shirts in the fire.
Ooh, these keep me warm.
Yeah.
That's facts. Well, I thought, I thought a little do it.
I was gonna ask you how your weekend was, but I think you just summed it up for me. So
I summed it all the way up.
Aren't you glad you didn't get run out of that damn stadium?
Boy!
Like, do you know? Have you ever seen the videos of the Jackson State fans when the drum majors come up the ramp and then they get the humping the rails and the fans beat them with the pom-poms? Do you know that part? And the fans beat them with the pom-poms.
Yeah, when they right on that where a student body section is.
That would have been you getting up out of it. They would have been beating you with the pom-poms all the way out of there.
Man, I'm telling you, that was the best. Listen, my kids saying they didn't want to go to the game was the best decision I have ever. Listen, I'm still grateful.
Is that your story and you sticking with it?
No, listen, I ain't got no reason to lie. I literally asked my kids a day before the game. I said, hey, do you guys want to go to the game or do you guys want to go to a friend's house? And it was like, my daughter, because I took my daughter to the SWAC championship in baseball and she hated it. Like, it was like 2:00. The sun was just straight beaming, no shade. So she was like, Dad, if it's anything like the baseball game, I don't want to go. That's what she said. She said, I don't want to go. And my son was like, touche, don't want to go. So we didn't end up going. So that was amazing. I'm not gonna tell you, that was amazing. I would have got up out of that Jake so fast, bro. I would at least left by halftime. Easily left by halftime. Easily. I would have easily left at halftime. Easily. Wouldn't even done it. But
well, good for you, brother. The Lord was with you. That's why you should we start this off with a prayer? You got saved Saturday.
Oh, because God knows. Listen.
You don't shoot shots at God, right? God knowing them.
God, is he a real one? He a real one. You know what I'm saying? He's a real one. He talks to my daughter. You know, my daughter. So it was like he was like, hey, he's like, listen to you.
It's amongst you all.
Yeah. So you know, I'm cool with it. I'm great. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into today's show. Hey, we gonna get to the hot viral. Right? Hot topics.
What is it?
Hot topics. Right? Hot and viral. All right. Now I don't know if you watch this show. But Undisputed has got a new look to it. And let me just say, I like it, but I don't like it, right? Because I love it because it's a lot of strong black men up there doing their thing. I don't like it because it seems like Skip is so out of place. Like, it just doesn't look like that is his type of format. So I don't think this is going to last very long. That's just my personal opinion. But I love it. I think them three need their own show. If I'm being honest, I think they need to get a moderator, take Skip out of it, get a moderator, and let them go to work. I absolutely loved it. Skip ain't gonna do that for too long. What you got?
I think Skip, first of all, arguing with black men, first and foremost. That's what the hell, because he didn't give no white man no opportunity on this, did he? You would think it would have been some type of white guy on here, right? But listen, the intro with Lil Wayne was hard.
Fire.
Oh, my God.
He killed that jank. Oh, he killed that jank.
So my idea of the show, because there's no way you're going to have – this is like Perry, Mike Reed, and Off Script sitting with Blue. Blue ain't gonna be able to get a word in dealing with us, right?
Oh, that's such a great analogy. Oh, that's so good.
You like that one?
That was good. That was good.
Right?
That was good.
But I just think I think each one of them get their own piece of the show with Skip. I think all three and adding Skip together, there's no way you get through just a segment. I mean, the opinions are so strong. It's so much around it. I like each one. Like when he came in, he talked to Lil Wayne about the intro and asked him a couple questions. Then him and Richard Sherman had a one-on-one about the viral moment that they had. But I think each one of them need their own piece with Skip. I think all of them together is too much for TV. They need something like what we doing if all of them want to get together. But for TV, that 4 personalities that you know is just going to bump heads left, right, and then going to be, they're like Perry White. They're going to use every bit of air in their lungs to prove a point, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that's too much right there. But it's the first episode. We got to let it grow on us, too. It's the same way you and I just started.
Yeah.
You know, as we grow, we figure things out together. We realize what worked, what doesn't work. And I think the idea of this show, it can be great. You got some guys that know what they're talking about. Mike Irvin said you got championship guys. So when championship guys open their mouth, they know from a perspective of what it means to win, to be in a locker room, and to be a part of something that's successful. So I do like that. So I just think this show is going to grow on us. It just got to give it some time right now.
Yeah, I think Skip on the first day, he's going to be like, I bit off more than I can chew, handling all 3 of them at once. And I totally agree with you. I think one-on-one segments with them, going back to that individual, that like how across the desk type feel, I think this is a better fit for the show. But I will say this. You can't pull that stuff you did with Shannon with none of these Bamas, okay? Shannon, the reason Shannon was so docile to a certain extent is because he was like, man, Skip really looked out for me. He put me on. I wouldn't have this opportunity. The rest of these Bamas, they like, we've been in media, okay? We've been doing this. Skip didn't give us nothing. We doing it. We've been doing it. So he can't pull that stuff that he did with Shannon talking, all that slick side talking stuff. Because if he do that with Richard Sherman, it is about to be another viral moment in 2023. Do you hear me what I'm saying? So
and that may be good for this show because now they're gonna have to go up on September the 4th. Shannon and Stephen A.
Yeah.
So when they make their debut, there's gonna have to be something that's going. So you may get the theatrics, and that's the other thing, Although people say and feel the way that they do with Skip, Skip to me is the character. Skip to me finds a reason to get you to be controversial to watch him. I don't think he believes half the shit he says, but he knows in order to compete against his old buddy Stephen A., he gotta keep it interesting, right? He gotta keep it entertaining. And if it means being, you know the term, good cop, bad cop. If he has to play bad cop, which he does very well, he understands that's going to tune people in. And now he got plenty of guys to play bad cop against. 3 good cops and 1 bad cop where they can mix match. There's plenty of ways to go around to make this thing entertaining. And if creating a viral moment is what it is for the sake of the show to get viewings, and remember, they always in competition on who's going to be 1 and 2. First Take has not lost that #1 spot in a long time. So he's looking to dethrone First Take by bringing on these personalities, former ESPN guys. So you know they're going to have a little saltiness about them. So there's going to be some shade and there's going to be some things that said that I think is going to make that show interesting as it continue to blossom and we start to really see everybody grow into who they're going to be on that show.
Last point before we move on. The best thing is going to be Michael Irvin and Skip Bayless talking about Cowboys when we win. Whoa! When the Cowboys win, I am tuning in to Undisputed because Michael and Skip talking Cowboys. Hey, ain't nothing better. That's primetime television right there, baby. That is primetime television. So listen, I'm just waiting for the first win by the Cowboys. I am locked in to Undisputed, absolutely. All right, next on Hot Topics, right? Listen, you all, it's here. It is here. It is here. Okay? Now, listen, it's a lot of smart people in Vegas. It's a lot of researchers in Vegas. And they have Colorado as a 21-point underdog to TCU at a neutral site. At a neutral site. I think they have this game I think they have a game like at 51. I think like 51 total points or 52, something like that. It's here. Let me ask you 2 questions, Perry. How important is this game for Prime? And does TC Taylor's victory have any like residual on, you know what I'm saying? Like, does he look at you get what I'm saying? Like, does it make him seem like I should have, maybe I didn't do the right thing, but I don't know. But you take.
So this game is very important to Prime because he understands everybody and all eyes are on him. He's had the celebrities. He's been flashy about it. He's been a little chippy with the media. Coaches have spoken out about him, about how his method of doing things. And so he understands with a huge matchup against a team like TCU, who we just saw play for a national championship. Guess what? It's in Texas. It's in Fort Worth. Who knows the area very well. It matters for Deion Sanders when you look at this game and making sure his Colorado team plays well. Now, this is the part that I go to when you bring up Jackson State and TC Taylor. A lot of naysayers, you and I, they don't know, right? That was the hashtag. Right?
Still don't, but go ahead.
Way, right? God blessed you and showed you not to go to that stadium to find out firsthand. You got to see it from afar. For some reason, this sort of feels like the same setup for Colorado with everybody in that realm of saying what Colorado not going to be. And Colorado basically, along with Deion and everybody else, saying they don't know. And for me, because of what I saw with Jackson State with the heavy turnover, and yes, the opponents are different. I get it. Understandable.
Absolutely.
But for me, it sets up the same narrative of our backs up against the wall and nobody believes in us. Nobody has to believe in us. All we have to do is believe in ourselves. Let's go out here and let's do what we got to do. Jackson State showed us that. And so when I look over at the same side with Colorado, both teams seem to show me the same mirror image of each other going into the season. New coaching staff, huge turnover when you look at the roster, and the idea that nobody thinks they're going to be good. And so because I look at that, I look at this team, I look at Colorado, and although TCU is the favorite, Colorado, we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
I learned the hard way Saturday, so I'm not going to do this shit twice. So, you know, do I believe? I think we'll see something in Colorado. Maybe. But I can't go against it because I did it once and it showed me. I learned the hard way. And I mean, when you look at this guy right there with that hat on, that chain, that vest, prime, he's letting you know who he is, and he's lived up to the moment so far. So this is a tough one. We don't know much about TCU coming out of the national championship, and they showing, but we damn sure don't know much about Colorado with the turnover. So in this situation, it is big for Coach Deion Sanders in Colorado, and at this point, I kind of find it hard to go against them right now.
I'll say this. I think they lose. I think this is the same way I felt about TC and Pajo is the same way I'm kind of feeling about Colorado. This is a morale win. I mean, even if you get it close, I think to me that is a moral victory. I know there's no moral victories in football, but that is something that you can stack up and go into the next week looking to build on, right? So if they lose 28-31, I think that, I mean, what else could you ask for a team with that much turnover going to go play a national champion or, in the national championship game who has their starting quarterback coming back? You can't ask for these. I think if you lose by 7 points, I think if you lose by 10 points, that is a moral victory in this situation. Anything over than 14 is an ass whooping to me. That's just an ass whooping. Like, I don't care. So I think a win is shocking, but I think making this game as close as possible throughout all 4 quarters is more of a testament to what Colorado could be. So I will give that. I'll give that to Colorado and the fans to just be making it a competitive game. That's all I'm looking forward to is seeing it be competitive. And if it can be, cool. If not, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off.
What's going to be key in this? Let's circle Shedeur Sanders. Let's look at his stats in this ball game. Once you talk about starting off going against TCU, Heisman Trophy candidate last year, right? The talks were out there, right? I mean, We're not just talking about a guy, just a Walter Payton Award nominee. We're not just talking about a guy, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. We're talking about now at the highest stage against an opponent who literally played for a national championship last year. So now you circle this. Shedeur Sanders, what can you do now against this type of opponent? With everybody and all the hype that's surrounding you, the way that it's supposed to be in terms of destiny, if you believe, is to say that you're going to go out there and have some damn good stats against a team like TCU because no matter the opponent, you are a guy that they mentioned for the Heisman Trophy. And so I think that's where you're going to have to circle here. Shedeur Sanders, what are those stats going to look like at the end of the game?
Absolutely. I think I am wholeheartedly agreeing with you on that one. What does he look like? You know what I'm saying? Does it look like the moment's too big? Does it look like the game is too fast? What is he going to look like? That's the main thing. And what is Travis going to look like? So I think both of those are questions that, everybody wants to see. And I'm excited to see what they look like. Kickoff is at big noon. If you, man, listen, I'm going to have my TV on everything. Do you hear what I'm talking about? YouTube TV, you can do the little 4 screens now. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be locked in. All right, let's go. Let's move forward. Let's talk about HBCU roster makers. We're talking about HBCU players that can make their roster or make a practice squad, right? These are some of the people that I brought up, and Perry, you can, counteract it if anything. These are my locked in guys. I think these guys are on the team no matter what, right? I think Shaq Davis is a part of that. I think Zay is a part of that. I think Marquise Bell, and I think Emmanuel Wilson. I think these 4 are guaranteed making an active roster, right? An active 53-man roster. What you got on that, P?
I like the guy with the Saints, man. I just think his build, his hands, I think everything he did just pretty much, especially if you're a Saints fan, I'm in that part of the country, right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking for weapons, right? And he looks like he can be a potential weapon for the Saints, just with what he brings to the table. Everybody else, may the odds forever be in their favor. I'm not following the Patriots and the Cowboys and Green Bay too much. So, I would love to make sure that these guys get their roster spots. And what about the guys that you didn't put up here that you think not going to get their roster spots?
I got practice squad players. I think guys that could make the practice squad. And listen, these are my practice squad guys, right? I got Isaiah Land. I think Isaiah Land is a practice squad player because of the DN position being really deep in Dallas. I think he finds his way on the practice squad. He had a great showing. Xavier Smith. Oh, they said he got cut. Darn it. There goes my practice squad player. Right? Keenan Isaac has had a good performance. And Jodeco Bonds. I think Jodeco Bonds in Green Bay has made a good showing coming on late. So I wouldn't be surprised at these guys being practice squad players. And people are saying offensive linemen. Listen, man, I don't be watching offensive linemen like that. So I'm a skills guy. Okay, I'm a skills guy. So just let y'all know right there. But I think these are your practice squad players that have made a case during the preseason that they are supposed to be on the team.
No doubt about it. At the end of the day, whether these guys make a team or not, let's just bask in the moment that these are legends. These are names that we're going to talk about from this level of football for a long time when we have the arguments and we go back and we talk about those years of these teams and these players. So I do want to pay homage to all of these guys because regardless if they make the squad or not, these are guys that solidified themselves in the history of the football that we like to watch, whether it's the MEAC, the CIAA, the SWAC, the SIAC. These are guys that put out blood, sweat, and tears and got that opportunity. And we know there's a 1% that's going to get there. But the fact these guys were able to put on and showcase what it means to come from HBCUs, whether they make it or not, these are our legends, and these are the guys we're going to be talking about in the future.
Oh, man, that's a great point. And I agree with the guy who says even though Aubrey Miller's been cut doesn't mean he can't, make pass waivers and come back and make it to the practice squad, which is more than likely to happen. But these are my guys that I'm just thinking like, hey, these are guys that I'm going to lock in for practice squad and things like that. So, all right, you already know what it is. Let's move on. Week 0 recap. Did I just skip over that? I really just did. Oh, man. Messed up my banner. All right, let's get it. Week 0 recap. Week 0 recap. Perry, I've talked ad nauseum about this game on my post-game recap. Your thoughts and your takeaways from this game?
I'll start with the coaching, and then I'll work my way to the players. From the coaching, I thought Buddy Pugh would have had a team more prepared for a type of environment, the type of game. I thought when you talk about a legendary coach, when you talk about having a program, I just thought altogether his program would have showed up better prepared than what they were. It looks to me he's probably taken the reins off and allowed his assistants and his coordinators. And I think they don't have the experience as him in order to get a team prepped and ready. And for me, I just thought they should have been ready. 2 years removed from winning a Celebration Bowl means something to me, right? And I look at this program. I know they didn't have much success last year, but I just thought a Buddy Pugh team would be better prepared. I look on the other side. I think you got to take that P off that man's chest, man.
Negative.
Look,
negative.
Regardless of the fact, I'm not going to be disrespectful to him tonight. They did something. They handled their business, and they did what they were supposed to do. They came out. They looked like the better team, and I give that credit to TC Taylor. He had his team prepared and ready to win, and for me, that matters a lot when a coach has his team locked in. And it looked like they were locked in from the jump. They played with an energy, a swagger, and it didn't seem to come from any abhorrent state. South Carolina just looked like they were their coach. They were old. They were born. There was nothing to them. But when you look at TC Taylor and what he brought with this team, they came out with a swagger and they had an energy about themselves, all right? That's from the coaching perspective. So congratulations to TC Taylor beating the legend, Buddy Pugh, in their one and only matchup. Then when I get to the players, listen, Corey Fields Jr. was out there playing like it was an NFL preseason game and he was a rookie to the league. He looked absolutely horrible. And a guy that you consider to be in this program for so long, won a Celebration Bowl, how do you go backwards instead of forward? And my thing was with looking at Buddy Pugh, what have you been looking at all spring and what have you been looking at all fall camp?
Facts.
I mean, literally, you looking at this guy. I mean, did you not throw the ball against any defensive players in fall camp? where the receiver is not contested one time, considering the moment of when he got in and you saw him play against Jackson State. He looked absolutely horrible, and that was perhaps, I don't give a damn, little league, junior high, high school, to college. That was one of the absolute worst performances I've ever seen from a quarterback ever. Better games, and I've rec league, the little league. I've seen better games from kids on the little league era, from the small youth arena, than I've seen with Corey Fields. And I was disappointed in Corey Fields. I don't want to bash him and talk about it, but Corey Fields, if you're watching this, or anybody that know you that's watching this, there's no way you should go out and perform like that. You are supposed to be a leader of the team. You're supposed to be the general. If anybody's going to lead and motivate this team to victory, you're supposed to be the guy, right? You have the experience, you have the age, and there's no reason you go out there and perform the way that you did. But then I go back to the coach and the Buddy Pugh. It reminded me of a situation, Scotty. It reminded me of a Southern versus Texas Southern hot Saturday afternoon in Dallas, Texas, when you saw a coach that was stubborn, that did not want to pull his quarterback, had opportunities and walked away with zero. That's something similar to what I saw in this game right here. I saw some similarities of a coach that was just going to ride it out. There was nothing else for Corey Fields to learn in that game. He's not a freshman or a sophomore where you have to put him in and continuously allow him to grow. He is who he is, and he showed you that early on. Pull him, give somebody else a chance, and give your team an opportunity. When I look at the other side, Jackson State, but I will say before I move on, those running backs, those young guys for South Carolina State, man, they need some help. Man, if they can remotely get the passing game to be able to open up the run game, South Carolina State maybe could be something. Corey Fields is not him. Number 5 who caught that touch, that was a Moss. I don't give a damn if that was against the second, third string. It doesn't matter. That was a hell of a catch, right? But then when I look at the other side, hats off to Jason Brown. I mean, we talked a lot of noise. I heard you say a lot of things about him, but he stood tall in the moment, and that's all I can ask for my guy. No matter who's the opponent, he stood tall in the moment. And one time he was 21 for 23. That's an efficient game against said D1 opponent. Regardless if South Carolina State looked prepared or not, he stood tall in the moment, and that's all that mattered. Listen, what's it, Irv Mulligan? The first run I saw, I said, this dude going to be a beast. Now Mulligan has to stand tall and be healthy, I think, for the year. He has to be able to, I think, to maintain this 11 game. And if Jackson is trying to go to the Celebration Bowl, he has a long road and journey ahead of him to stay healthy, especially with them looking to want to be a run-first team. And they just simply gassed South Carolina State. That quick up-tempo, you looked around South Carolina State, you could see their defense literally gassed in that game. And I think that's something as they continue to go on. I look at South Carolina State. All right, now I start to compare them against teams that seem similar to me in the SWAC, right? There's going to be some teams that Jackson's going to play against that's not going to be prepared. And they've shown if you don't have a quarterback that can match and go toe-to-toe with Jason Brown and a somewhat decent defense, it's going to be a tough day for you. I look at a team like Alabama A&M, it can be tough for them. I look at a team like Alabama State, it can be tough for them. Saving grace is the defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's to me.
But
go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, as I wrap it up, I'm just saying whether I say those teams or not, we'll see when we cross that point. But they just shown if you have bad quarterback play and subpar defensive play, it'll be a long day for you. And some teams in the SWAC mirror what we saw South Carolina State have.
Yeah, I think offensively, but if you're a team like an Alabama State, which is built predominantly on defense, what we assume South Carolina State, offensively, I thought Corey Fields would be better, but I knew South Carolina State is a defensive-minded team. That was the part of the game that shocked me the most. So when they came out and forced the fumble, it wasn't nothing new to me. I'm like, that's who South Carolina State is, right? If Patrick Goldbolt just lands on the ball instead of playing London Bridge, they don't even score on the first drive, right? So my thing is this. I do agree with you. If you don't have a quarterback, you're going to have a problem in the SWAC anyway. It's not just with Powell State. It's with any school, right? But you have schools that are defense dominant, like an Alabama State that takes pride in their defense, to me, I just want to see more of a challenge before I crown somebody or I give somebody more kudos than what they deserve. Because to me, that was an ass team on both sides of the ball. They were undisciplined. The stuff that went for touchdowns, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, these are literally 2 to 3 yard passes that are going for 30 to 40 yard touchdowns. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
You
Right?
see that on this level of play when we start to talk about the MEAC and the SWAC. And we've had this conversation in previous shows where we talk about the level of play. The things that you look for out of the big boys when you watch a little bit different type of competition, you look on this level and you look for that same level of a discipline of the game, right? And a lot of times you don't see it. And that's when you go back and you throw your hands up. You be like, what am I really watching? You got to really be a fan of it. And as a fan of it is where I'm speaking from, just SWAC and MEAC, not just football, because it's hard to really just talk football when we're watching what's happening out there, right? Mm-hmm. When you're watching what the defense, you're watching a safety do some dumb shit, right? You just like, what are you doing? Right? That's from the football aspect. But I got you with them, huh? But from a right, a quarterback play, like when you're watching a quarterback stank up the joint like that, you're literally from a football standpoint saying, what the hell is going on, right? That's why I say it's a certain love for what you watch when it comes to the SWAC and MEAC. When you take your football glasses off and you look at it just for the rivalry of the games or what's being played, Jackson State stood tall when the game mattered most against an opponent that we thought could fare very well against them. Now, it's not going to change as we move forward and we start to go into conference play. You're going to see a lot more games where you're going to have to take your football glasses off and you're just going to have to watch the game for what it is, because it's not going to give you big boy football like you're looking for. It's just going to give you the exciting football of whoever you're choosing to win the game. And I think that's the perspective as we move forward, that we're going to have to look at it like that, because if we're going to break it down and analyze it from a true football perspective, it's going to be like a D English paper with red lines and X's and circles all over, because there's going to be plenty to break down to say what the hell was going on. Yeah, and I think for me, it's like when your calling card gets declined, something's wrong, right? I could get if your offense didn't come up. If I could understand if the offense didn't show up, right? I'll give a good example. Tennessee State, when they played Paho State in the last Heritage Classic, right? I mean, hold on, who was that again? Paho State. Against who? Tennessee State in the Southern Heritage Classic. Oh, yeah. Right? Their offense didn't show up. It literally did not show up, but the defense kept them in the game, right? Kept it close, kept it somewhat competitive. That's what I was expecting once Corey Fields decided to be Stevie Wonder on that game, right? I'm like, okay, South Carolina State is at least going to play defense. They're going to make this difficult. They're going to at least make it physical and hard to score. Once I didn't see that, I said, what the hell are we watching on ABC right now? They got gassed. When you got your offense going 3 and out, not taking any time off the field, and you saw the up-tempo Jackson State, they literally gassed out the defense, in South Carolina State up until about halftime was able to stick with them. If you get remotely any type of offense, you got a ball game on your hand. And really, South Carolina State had some opportunities to go up in that game in the first half. But then you start to see getting gas really take effect. And when the fourth quarter hit, the defense just basically, it was pretty much over with for them. Yeah. And I think the last thing, P, before we move on, I don't understand how you trot Corey Fields back out there in the second half. Like, how do you realistically, if I'm a player on that team, and I don't care what South Carolina State player is on this stream currently, like, man, you knew Corey Fields was not it. 3 for 10 for 10 yards. I ain't never seen a stat line at the half that looked like that. And it was supposed to magically get better with no Shaq Davis, with no Jacoby Durant, with no BJ Davis, with no Zaire Kelly. None of these guys are there to help y'all.
I'm sorry, man. That to me, he should have swapped Corey Fields out just to get a spark from somebody, just to see if he could find a spark from somebody else in the beginning of the second half to kind of bring his team back. But it is.
Listen, we would have been out there running the damn Wildcat fucking around with Corey Fields. I'm talking about if we ain't got nothing else to do, let's try it. I mean, what's the worst gonna happen? We already 3 for what?
Dog, I would have wing T that hole up so fast, bro. We would have been out here triple option that shit.
Hey, and it's gonna get ugly with the schedule they got coming up. Oh my God. If we thought it got ugly with Jackson, listen, it's gonna be ugly with what South Carolina State got coming up.
Listen,
you want them 0-4 shirts? You probably should have got them for South Carolina State instead of for Jackson State.
Yeah, I guess. But they play harder competition, though. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to FBS and stuff like that. So, yeah, whatever. My thing is this. If I'm Buddy Pugh, I got my golf clubs in my car.
Like, quit now.
I got my golf clubs.
Don't even take the team through this. Just quit now. You know, if this doesn't seem like you want to do it no more, buddy, let's plan a fishing trip, bro. You know, let's just go and get it over with. Don't slow death this thing, though. Right? Don't slow death it.
Oh, man, I would have been out there. I'm out here. Oh.
And I'm driving the cart with the drink, baby.
Four. No, I'm out there. I'm out there swinging it, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's no good. All right, let's get to some of the FBS matchups. B, what's coming up? Got some FBS matchups. Week 1 is in full effect. All right. Here's some of the matchups. All right. You got Alabama A&M versus Vanderbilt. Listen, I love the fighting. Every time I see the Fighting Irish, it reminds me of that old school college football game where like he was on the cover. I used to love that game. And I love that logo. I really do. That's one of my favorite college logos. It's so what's that word? So like classic, just a classic. You got Tennessee State versus Notre Dame. You got Howard at Eastern Michigan. You got Bethune at Memphis. You got UAPB in Tulsa. You got A&T with UAB. And then you got Alcorn at Southern Miss. Any game that you're just like, I'm going to tune in for this one. I'm going to watch it. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm going to watch it.
Well, crazy enough, being in the Chicago area, man, I actually like Notre Dame. I'm one of those few people that will watch a Notre Dame game. So Tennessee State versus Notre Dame will be a game that I pay attention to. Mm-hmm. The rest, probably not.
Okay, that's fair. Now, I got a couple questions for you and some for the chat. Which HBCU do you think would score the most points against said competition?
I will probably go with, if I just had to choose, it would be between probably Howard and A&T, and I'll probably go with A&T against UAB.
You know, I'm going to roll with Alcorn. I think Alcorn is I would go Alcorn number 1 and A&T number 2 and Howard number 3. That's how I would go with it. I think A&M has a good chance. Vanderbilt, they still in the SEC, even though they don't care about football, they still in the SEC. But I would go Alcorn number 1, A&T number 2, Howard number 3, A&M number 4.
Take A&M all the way. Connell Manning, so he get paid to win SWAC games. All right, he don't give a damn about Vanderbilt. I can tell you now. All right. So take them scratch. That'll be the last team you care about scoring today. He told you already that game means nothing. The game plan going into there is not to even – he don't give a damn, all right? He get paid for SWAC games. So leave A&M. And I'm picking on them every week at this point. They just set themselves up. But leave them off there. They just good for the SWAC. When I see a SWAC competition, then I'll talk about them scoring. But for now, no.
Oh, man.
I think between them and UAPB in Tulsa, those might be the 2 blowouts for me. Regardless of how we think about Vanderbilt, I think, going to beat the hell out of A&M. And I think Tulsa, I like UAPB, but I just don't think they for me, I think Tulsa beat the hell out of UAPB as well. Everybody else got a chance to at least get something, right? I don't know about Bethune-Cookman against Memphis. That's
I'm more curious to see what team they're going to put out on the field. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what I'm more curious. I don't think they're going to score. They might get a field goal, but the ass whooping I see coming is Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that game last week against Navy?
That white boy was slicing and dicing, baby. He was slicing. Was it Sam Hartman or Hardman, whatever his damn name is?
I saw people on social media talking about him for Heisman, right? I know it was against Navy, but he showed some signs of a quarterback, what he could be, and they damn sure gonna slice and dice Eddie George up and down. Eddie George just there to shake hands and take a picture at the end of the game and walk away with that check. Other than that, I like the matchup though. The first HBCU to take on Notre Dame. Let's talk about that with Tennessee State. So that is, huh?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. So when you look at that, if you ask me a game I tune into, I'll probably tune into that one and watch it. If there's a game I secretly be keeping up on ESPN, it'll be that A&T and UAB game.
Yeah, I think they got UAB. I think they have UAB 25-point favorite, 21 or 25-point favorite in that game as well. Most likely for an upset.
Nobody.
I gotta go Auburn.
Southern Miss gonna beat the hell out them folks.
Listen, man. I just love. I said most likely. Okay,
I got you one.
You know what I'm saying?
Most likely, if there's be one, I'm gonna take Howard and Eastern Michigan. If there's most likely to be an upset, Eastern Michigan and Howard don't know a damn thing about each other, right? And if there could be one, who the hell is Eastern Michigan, right?
Facts.
Right. If there can be one that I think could be a potential, I'll go with Howard and Eastern Michigan. That'd be one you just look at on your ESPN ticker and like, what the hell going on? I don't even know what city they in. Where are they at in Michigan?
Eastern.
I'm done. You got me. You got me. I don't think Alcorn with the problems we saw last year offensively, Jarvion Howard ain't going to beat Southern Miss. Man, let me tell you, I remember one year, quick story, and I'm done. 2017, I want to believe Southern played Southern Miss. Listen, their quarterback was bigger than everybody on Southern's team.
Wow.
And they had like 4 of them. They was all big. Their O-line, their receivers, their tight ends, you could see strength and condition. You can see there was a clear difference in those guys to Southern. When every quarterback was bigger than is just as damn size of your O-line and D-lineman, right? I don't think Alcorn got a chance in that one. I really don't.
Somebody said, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pasanti?
What they trying to say?
Where Eastern Michigan is at. It's in Pasanti.
Oh, okay.
I hope that Y is silent. I mean, God, dog, that is Yippacentity? I don't know. Yeah.
Just stick with Eastern, baby. Just stick with Eastern. Yeah.
Yip. Oh, I was Yipsilanti.
That sounds like a place you can sneak out of there with one.
That's fair.
Why is silent?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really curious. I want to see Bethune-Cookman. I just want to see what they look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's against Memphis program. Listen, UAPB is UAPB. They just there. But I really want to see what Bethune-Cookman and Little Bill is cooking up. You know what I'm saying? They've been real silent over the summer and in the fall, you know what I'm saying, for training camp and things like that. And A&M is what's up?
I was going to say, let's not forget Howard pulled off the greatest upset in college football history.
Oh, UNLV.
Yeah. So that's why, I mean, Howard against Eastern Michigan is why I'm kind of there. If there could be one, that's where I'm going.
And I want to see the quarterback system that A&M and Vanderbilt and A&M ends up playing, because the one thing about Maynard is his finickiness with how he plays his quarterbacks. Like, I'm like, bro, like, you don't let nobody get you take the guy out too early, you let another guy go for too long. I'd be like, yo, what is this? Like, how about one person plays the first half, person plays the second half, one dude plays one quarter, next dude plays another. It's like something in around those lines. But I want to see how that works in A&T. See if they got a quarterback. They lost their running back. See if they got a quarterback. What's up, P?
That look 0-7 to me. It's gonna be some 0-1 starts this year for some teams. So all them that's on here that's associated HBCU 0-1. We'll try again next week.
Oh man. Yeah. You have a name, but is he a quarterback? See, just because you have a name in the position does not make him a quarterback, right? Like, can he do the job? Can he facilitate? Because we know what you were last year. It was tooting or bust, and he's gone. So what we talking about? Okay, so that just is what it is. All right. Now, here we go. Week 1 picks and predictions. All right. P. First,
all right,
Delaware, Bowie State. What we got?
let's jump into it. I mean, you look at a Delaware State team that went 5-6 last year, 2-2 in conference play. They weren't so bad of a team of what you saw in the past. You saw some positives that could slowly come from this team. They ended the season on a 2-game losing streak. One of those losses was to Campbell. Last year, if you go back and you look at those games where Delaware State lost those 6 losses, they scored about 7 points in each one of those games. So it showed offensive struggle. You want to see what can Delaware State do when you're talking about against a Division II opponent like Bowie State. Not the same Bowie State that we remember from a few years ago, right? That was D2 Black College National Champions, making it deep into the Division II playoffs. This is a different Bowie State team. When I look at this, I think I have to stay with the Division I opponent, and I'll go with Delaware State in this one. I think Delaware State gets the victory.
Listen, I think it's very simple. I like what Kenny's doing. I think he got probably the most swag I done seen from a coach, you know what I'm saying? And with the lock around his chest and all that type of stuff. But listen, he can get got. Okay, let's not be. Bowie State is bringing. Lee Hall has to show something here. You like to schedule these games with a first-time head coach, get some momentum, get some morale, have people believe your message, believe what you've been preaching. So I'm agreeing with you, P. I'm rolling with Delaware State as well for what it is for week 1 in the predictions. All right, next up, got Winston-Salem State, Trey Oliver, the top dogs. What you got, P?
You know, I look at Winston-Salem State, the same thing like Bowie State. Some years back had success on the Division II level. Bowie State and Winston-Salem kind of mirror each other in their prospective time in which the success that they had. Winston-Salem is not that same team anymore. I look on the other side, Trey Oliver. Look at that guy. Don't he look like he's there for business?
Man,
don't he look like he's there to whoop your ass?
Always.
Right? North Carolina Central, the defending Black College National Champions, won the Celebration Bowl last year over a really good Jackson State team. Once again, Division II versus Division I. When you look at the quarterback that could potentially be an NFL prospect at North Carolina Central, he's on the Senior Bowl watch list. I think to start the season off, I'll have to go Trey Oliver at North Carolina Central over Winston-Salem. Should be one hell of a matchup when you look at the proximity of the schools and when you just look at the name of the two schools, though.
No, I think we're doubling up on this one as well. Going North Carolina Central as well. It's very simple. Top dogs getting it done early and often and things like that. Listen, this is a rivalry game. It's for the alums. It's for the people and the fans. They love to see their old D2 rivalries come back, and spark it back up in place. But it just,
I like you taking off those football glasses, man.
Yeah, man.
I like that. Yeah.
It's what's it called? The nostalgia. It's for the nostalgia. It's for
the alumni. For the alumni.
Oh, man. Let me see what we got here. Hey, your dark horse. Your dark horse. Oh man, what we got with this, P?
Of course, we talked about this earlier in a few episodes ago. about Norfolk State. For me, Dawson Odums, everybody should know there's no secret. That's my boy, right? I'm going to rock and roll with him regardless, and that's just loyalty. That's how it works when you talk about being loyal with a person. But I like Norfolk State in this one. I think Norfolk, when I look at them overall, for me, I like Dawson Odums in the way he builds his programs, right? He builds them from the ground up. He does not care about all that other stuff, and I like the discipline his teams bring. Once again, Virginia State, Division II. I think Division I gets it done. Norfolk State gets the victory.
Oh, absolutely. I like it. Hey, next up, listen, I'm going to go. Valley and Central State Chicago Football Classic. They done brought it back. Kendrick Wade. I believe that's Kevin Porter for his second year at Central State. Kendrick Wade taking over his alma mater in this one. Listen, I think this is a perfect game and setup for Kendrick Wade to get Valley on the right track, get a, I don't want to say an easy dub, but go in there, solidify what you have, show the people that you're doing something different here at Valley, building it the right way. So me personally, gotta rock with MVSU on this one for the week 1 prediction. What you got, P?
Valley with a big turnaround themselves when you talk about overall roster against Division II. Central State, we remember, if you don't remember, back in the day, Central State was one hell of an opponent. You talk about those old school shirt and broadcast polls, top 5 teams. Central State was that back in the day. It's a new day. They're not the same. You don't never hear much about Central State. But the thing about it is we don't know what the hell Valley's going to do because the game's not in Itabena. It's in Chicago. But I'm going to rock with Division I once again over Division II. I'm going to go Mississippi Valley. But this might be one of those upset alerts. If there's an upset alert, I will circle this as a possible upset alert.
That's big. That's big. All right, next up, Richmond, Morgan State Bears. Perry, what you got on me?
Man, Richmond traditionally, when you talk about an FCS power, the Spiders, right? We saw them some years back beat Tyreek Cohen and Rob Broadway in North Carolina A&T in the playoffs. They've traditionally shown you they'll play very well. I like Morgan State because that's your boy coming from Bowie State, right? He's trying to build the program. I just think this not the opponent you're going to build it against. I'm rocking with Richmond in this one.
All right. Listen, very simple for me. Both of us going with Richmond. I think this is a powerhouse. I think it's a great test for Morgan State, but as it is, I don't think they're ready for what Richmond is bringing. Now, coming up next, you already know what it is. Very simply for me, we ain't got to have no discussion. It's simply Andrew Body all day for me, right? Andrew Body is coming into this game. This is a game Texas Southern has to have to change the narrative. If you're supposed to be having this magical season to make a run back into the SWAC championship, this is the game that you cannot play around with, and you have to come in with the right mindset, stick in the PV, stop the run, right? Andrew Body, I need him to come in, have the right mindset with the new team, new defensive coordinator, the ODC from Grambling, right? New players, new influx of talent. I got to go Andrew Body for the win at the State Fair.
You got to start lighting up and powering up every time you do that one, man. You got to find you a cool special effect to go with that one.
I need to.
I'm going to go, when I look at this matchup, won the last 8 of them, right? I believe It's been 8 in a row. It's been the Panthers of Prairie View. Even though last year you look at this matchup, quarterback play was horrible, both sides, right? Andrew Body, Trayvon Conley. Prairie View picks up Caleb Johnson from Mississippi Valley. He's a proven runner in this conference. Conley, I don't think he's gotten any better. I think what you're going to see out of Conley was what you saw out of Corey Fields to me. I think those two guys are going to mirror each other. He can do a little bit more with his legs. When I look at just overall being able to run the ball, can anybody help your boy Andrew Body on Texas Southern is what's going to be the key in this game. But if not, I'm going with Prairie View. I think Prairie View continues the success they've had, and I think they move on with year 9 in a row with getting victory over Texas Southern.
Oh, you did pick PV over Texas Southern. My bad. I'll put you down for Texas Southern.
You know damn well. You know damn well. Get that off my screen, man. No, I'm not going.
I thought I misread the text message. I thought it was T. I thought my bad. That's on me. That was on me. That was my fault. That's my fault.
And shout out to Andrew Body, Miss Body, the whole family. Love them to death. But I just think your son can't play all 11 positions, right? If he could, Texas Southern will be a damn good, legit contender in this conference. But unless they get him some help, he's gonna need it. And I think Prairie View right now is pretty solid foundation when it looks like a team that I think can get past them.
Hey, this is gonna be a doozy right here. Brick City Kickoff Classic in Newark, New Jersey.
Where is it?
Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Brick City, baby. You feel me? Perry, what you got?
Oh, I like this matchup, man. Something gives me nostalgia of them old school days when I see Hampton and Grambling, and then you take it up to New Jersey and you give those people an opportunity to see black college football with two name brands that matter, right? This matters. This just brings back old school memory, and I just can't help but look at it. But when I see it, Hampton was a team we talked about a couple episodes ago that wasn't too far off last year, right?
Yeah.
Hampton was a pretty good team. Grambling is a team still trying to figure it out. If you listen to Coach Hugh Jackson today, he said this is going to be a point for him in this game to see will the team that he think he has, will they grow up in this, or is it still more work to be done? And I think I like Hampton. Hampton wasn't too far off last year, looking at them and their body of work and the couple games that they did win. Some of those were some opponents that I think could get a lot of victories in the SWAC, right? So I'll go with Hampton in this one. I like Hampton's chances.
You know, I was rolling with you. I ain't gonna lie, but you gotta have this one. You got if Hugh has to listen, man, you gotta turn the ship around. Grambling fans, let that first season go. Okay, you're new. Okay, we're good. This, you got talent, you got a quarterback, you got to right the ship. And there's no better way than come out in Newark, New Jersey, right? Setting it up. I don't give a damn that it's an out-of-conference game. I don't care. And I don't want no SWAC fan, if you lose, to be like, oh, it really didn't matter. It's going
to come. It's coming.
I don't care. I don't care about none of that. You need this game. And you want Hugh Jackson to have the same intensity for this game and set it off the right way, which should be a dub. I'm going with Grambling because they need it. I was a
little nervous of that because he told me, what was the quarterback name last year?
For who?
Grambling.
You got
in the Bayou Classic.
Baby Carrots.
Yeah. Whatever. Baby Carrots. I heard Hugh Jackson said that he's still putting in competition for the starting spot. So for me to hear that, knowing Miles Crowley is there, and this kid literally has an opportunity, for me, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And if you come out with bad quarterback play, I think that's what's going to cost them.
That's fair. What you got? Oh, you know what it is now.
I don't got no Southern music. You ain't got neck or nothing. You ain't got nothing for me.
I ain't got nothing for you.
Nothing queued up.
I mean, I could cue it up now, but it's a little late. I can cue it up.
I thought you already knew when you fucking with me. Come on, Scotty. Now, you know, with Mike Reed, you already got about 6 Jackson State songs queued up. I heard you with G. You had all the Alcorn songs queued up, and you gonna do your boy like that?
That's fair. You
gonna do me like that?
It's loaded. If you
gonna do me like that?
I totally forgot. I
thought we was better than that.
That's fair. I give you that.
And your hate for the powerhouse, right? You don't like us, and that's okay, right? Hey. Stadium near you.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Talk to me.
I like this matchup. Last year, you look at both these teams defensively, Southern, Alabama State. I know people going to say Southern with the 2 cupcake games, but Southern did a really good job at stopping the run last year. Alabama State defensively was perhaps one of the best in the conference. I look at these two teams, and I would have loved to see this matchup last year. They both struggled at quarterback, but Alabama State couldn't run the ball. Southern could. Alabama State, I want to see, can they find a way to run the ball this year? They were near the bottom when you talk about run teams in the conference. They're going to have to find a balanced offense. They're not going to be able to survive just relying on their defense. On the other side for Southern, you got a new quarterback, right? Harold Blood. He's been a part of the program for a long time. Can Harold Blood grow up and be in a position to really lead this team in this offense? He's a guy that I'm not going to treat him like a young guy, right? I'm going to treat him like a Corey Fields, although Corey had more experience. But Harold, this is your time to shine, and this is your time to do it now. You have to stand up, and you have to be that guy. I'm going to go with Southern. I like Southern's running back room. If all else fail, I know Southern can run the ball.
Listen, if you're walking out there, okay, let me say this. I agree with people saying this is a toss-up, right? And the reason that one toss is higher than the other is because of Demetrius Davis. I have not heard anything good coming out of the camp of Alabama State and Demetrius Davis. So for me, that's the quandary in all this is, what is D. Davis going to look like for Alabama State? I do not believe that Southern is that much better than Alabama State. But I do believe Harold Blood is that much better than Demetrius Davis, enough to get this win. So as much as I think that these teams are very, very much even, and it could be very much a toss-up, I'm leaning to the more consistent. I won't say consistent because Harold Blood hadn't played that much. I will lean to the guy that I know ain't as bad as the other guy. And I do know Demetrius Davis is explosive. So he might give you one. He might give you two. But it's just as much as he'll give you, I feel like he'll take something away with his bad quarterback play and the interception. So I'm going to go with Southern on this one. But I do think these teams are very even, and it can go either way.
And traditionally, when you see Southern and Alabama State, for people who've never watched this, it's always one of them games you need a Black and Mal or a cigarette at the end of the game, right? It comes down to, you looking back in 2015, right? Hell of a game. Even that spring game in 2021, right?
Yeah.
You know, you look at it, always seems to be Alabama State and Southern play these tough games, especially in Montgomery. And when you talk about fans that are passionate, that are making a tough day for you, that's one of the most passionate fan bases in the conference, especially in that little end zone area. Those Alabama State fans, but I think they show up more for the bands than they do to watch their own football team. So, that's always traditionally been an up and down game. Bama State will jump up, and then Southern will find a way at the end to come back. So if anybody that's looking forward to watching this game, I see it no different, especially when we look at, you just talked about how close in comparison. I think this one comes down to the end when I look at Southern and Alabama State.
Yeah, and I think it also comes down to play calling, right? I want to see what Dooley has learned, right? Because the thing about being at PV is there's not a lot of eyes on you. Right? You know, people, you got 10 fans. Ain't too many people coming to see you unless you're in the State Fair Classic or a homecoming. It's not a lot of eyes on you. At Southern, you're under the biggest microscope. So everything is going to be judged. Everything's going to be ridiculed. All your play calling. So what has he learned from last year, and what can he do better this year to have it go a little bit more smoother at the quarterback position? Same thing with Eddie Robb. What did you learn? Because these are the two most stubborn guys in the SWAC when it comes to quarterback. Demetrius Davis was absolutely ass coming down the stretch. But Sean McCray absolutely ass, and neither one of them wanted to give up their guy. Right? So now you're in this situation where one guy brought the other guy back. Other guy moved on. We'll see what it all looks like. But
Southern's never lost in that stadium either, so Dooley, don't fuck it up. We've never lost in that stadium or in Prairie View Stadium since they built those new stadiums. So,
Perry, give me a score for this one.
Ooh. It's always something crazy. I'm going to go 24-21.
24-21. I'm going to go 24-20. I'm going to go
What the?
I feel like Price is right. 101.
The actual retail price is $1.
101, Bob. 101. You know what? I'm changing that. I'm gonna go 24-14. 24-14 Southern. I think Southern gets a rein on Demetrius in the second half and they pull away. I'm gonna go 24-14 Southern on this one. All right.
And it's not a SWAC game for people that's out there. It does not count in conference.
Non-conference.
Yeah.
Non-conference game. Yeah, non-conference game. I want to make sure that we all understand it. Here we go. Game of the week. You already know what it is. Road to the puss.
Oh, I got you. Come on. Like what Rick James said, come on. Hey, you finally with the program, huh?
FAMU. Call lines are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. Talk about anything in regards to the show today. Perry, what do you have? I will be making my pick on Wednesday with Mike, but go ahead.
I love this matchup. Black college football at its finest down in Miami for the Orange Blossom Classic. You're talking about two of the best programs, I think, in the SWAC over the past 2 years. No matter who's played for the SWAC championship the past 2 years, clearly FAMU was the best team, second best team in the conference. A playoff berth in 2022, in 2021, missing it by one game to lose to Jackson in 2022. They have not lost a game in quite some time. October and November is their time of the year. But this is Willie Simmons. When you look at his program, he has the most players on the all-SWAC selection. He has a returning quarterback in Jeremy Musa, but he's lost some key elements. They were the worst rush team last year in the conference. So that tell you how much pressure it had to be on Jeremy Musa with his passing attempts to throw the ball around. Now they go out and they get a running back from Nebraska. You hope to now have a balanced offense with Musa now being able to hand the ball off with somebody that can then open up the run game. And that's what FAMU is going to need, I think, when you talk about a game like this. You can't keep throwing the ball over and over and over, especially when if you get the lead in this game.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to be able to chip away at the clock and take the time of possession. FAMU is going to need that. Willie Simmons is going to need that. He is yet to beat Jackson State since being at FAMU. I look on the other side with Jackson State and TC Taylor. If you're a Jackson State fan, how can you go against them right now when you saw the showing at South Carolina State? But let me tell you something, Jackson State fans. FAMU is not South Carolina State. Just simple as that, right? FAMU is not that team. FAMU will play hard-nosed football with you. You're looking for that defense last week against South Carolina State, you're going to find it this week. You're looking for a team that can challenge you in the trenches, you're going to find it with Florida A&M this week. And so I just think now you'll be able to get an opportunity to see, is that run game really is potent with Mulligan for Jackson State? Is that no-huddle, quick up-tempo offense really going to work against a team that can match you when you look at the depth and when you look at the experience? I want to see what Jason Brown look like against this defense. I want to see what Jackson State's receivers look like against a traditionally good defensive backfield of Florida A&M. And when I look at this ball game, I think now is the time for Willie Simmons to get over the hump. And if there's going to be a time, especially now that you got film on Jackson State, normally it was Florida A&M giving you the film and then Jackson State coming in being able to watch it. Now Jackson State is giving you film, and Florida A&M is coming in already now understanding which South Carolina State didn't know what to expect. So I think if there's a time now, Willie Simmons and Florida A&M get it done. I'm going to rock with Florida A&M.
Listen, I feel like Kirk Herbstreit, I'm going to call the game, so, I'm going to pick this. Listen, I'm going to just give some both sides to kind of like Perry. I think Perry that was an excellent breakdown. For me, it comes down to battle of the quarterbacks, battle of the play callers, and who makes the most plays. So for me, battle of the play callers, right? Willie can't Willie. Willie cannot Willie this game. I'm telling you right now, if Willie Simmons loses this game, he will not be allowed back in Tallahassee. I don't know where he's going to stay. Tallahassee is not going to be a destination. You better find an Airbnb 20 miles out, my boy. Because there's no possible way. No possible way he living in Tallahassee after this game. But this is not the game that Willie can Willie it up. He cannot be enamored with the pass. I don't care if you're killing them or not. You can't get enamored with it. You have to stay as best you can, balance as best you can in this game. Now, if you just murder him with the pass, then hey, listen, you murder him. But I hope that he understands that with Yance and with Terrell Jennings, with those two big guys, you're talking about a Big Ten. You're talking about a running back that was at Nebraska. Was it Wisconsin or Nebraska?
Nebraska.
He was at Nebraska. Like, them Bamas run. Okay, that's what they do. So he's built for that. And I think you got to give him the opportunity. And I think if it's a slow game, having Yance and balancing it out is good. I think Maurice Harris and Jason Brown are kind of in sync. They're going to get more in sync, right? Because of this game, he kind of knows where, where he's at, where he's doing, where he's well. I will say this. He was 1-6 for passes over 15 yards. I'm just telling you that. I'm just telling you what Pro Football Focus told me.
And another thing, I know you're talking about from the quarterback position, aside from Andrew Body, right now, from what we've seen, this may be a battle early season of us seeing the two best quarterbacks in the conference, perhaps. I mean, Jason Brown has shown, he's proven, right? There's a lot of cats can't go out there and deal what Jason Brown did, even if it was against a subpar South Carolina State, right? So I think when you look at the quarterback position, Jackson State, I seem to favor them more in the run game unless Florida A&M shows me something different. Jackson State right now, I seem to favor at the wide receiver position, right? From what I saw last week, unless Florida A&M and Musa finds a way to be comfortable with receivers not named Xavier Smith, right? Yeah. And that's what I'd be looking to see. Defensively and in the trenches, I think Florida A&M will be fine. It's just going to be from those skill position players. Will that be able to help them? They're going to need a run game against Jackson State, okay? They're going to need it if they think they're going to get over. And Florida A&M was last year ranked running 94 rushing yards a game. Come on, Scotty, 94? That's all you're averaging? You're going to have to get up. That was 12th in the conference. But I'm going to roll with FAMU. I think FAMU gets it done. Willie Simmons, now is more than ever is your time, brother.
Well, I'll say this too. I think you got to worry about the interior defensive line and the interior offensive line of FAMU, and because that's the strength of this defense. It's not the DBs. It's not the linebackers. It's the interior part of this defense. And is that LSU guard that they got? Is the center and the guard? Is that center guard combination going to hold up against Coinus, Jeremiah, and whoever else they decide to put into that? Are they going to be able to withstand that and give Musa the time? Because if we're being honest, neither one of these guys are the most mobile. So if anybody's talking about Musa can't run, Jason Brown can't run either. Okay, so if that's what we're doing, so it is what it is. But it's going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to great play calling and what quarterback makes the most plays in the clutch time. So I'm excited, man. I think this is going to be one for the ages.
Come on, Willie Simmons, don't let me down.
Man,
I call you the finesse god. I like how you finesse teams. I know you listening. I know you watch. Come on, don't let me down, Willie.
All right, call lines are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. FAMU, KJ, coming to you.
All right, what's up, Scotty?
What's going on?
Check this out, man. I'm a little worried. I've been, like I say, I'm a rattler through and through, played there. One of the things that concerns me is what they showed on Saturday has been the Achilles heel of our defense. And if we go win this game, it's going to be defense and special teams. Now, the issue is for me right now is how much has our defensive coordinator grown over the year. And he better have a plan A, B, C, and D in his package to be able to mix it up. Because the first time we come out and our defensive backs are lined 8 yards off the ball, I'm going to get up out the stadium and head on home. Because based on what Jackson State showed, they will pick you apart, quick passes, short passes across the middle. They're using a tight end, and it's going to be a long day. So I'm praying and hoping that our defensive coordinator has a game plan to be able to offset that and to be able to show some different packages. I pray that we can be able to play man-to-man everywhere. because we got at least 25 defensive backs on that team. So somebody should be able to play man-to-man, and we got to do that. Secondly, special teams. If we can be able to treat a 3-and-out, and the guys who are on punt return cannot look at it as, hey, I'm out here on the field, I'm just going to, and make it an offensive play to make Sheree be a threat, not only in the receiving, but in the return game, that's huge. Because now what that does, that gives Willie a little bit more open space to be able to have his play calling a little different. Musa probably feels a lot better because it's not pinned down somewhere deep in our own position, and that opens it up. So punt return, special team is going to be huge. And then lastly, what I really want to be able to see is, will Coach Simmons stay with the run? If they show that, hey, they're going to be stopping the run, is he going to stay with it and be able to say, hey, we're not going to leave, even if we get down, we're going to stay with the run and try to make sure that we can establish it, to make sure that we're not sending our defense back out there real quick, because he's thrown 3 passes back out of there, and now they're running tempo and wearing the defense out. So to me, those are the 3 things that I think we got to do. Like I say, it's a 50-50 right now. I'm not sure. And also, as far as the kid from Nebraska, he's been nicked up, but the kid to look for is that we got to transfer out of FAU. And he has really been the more scat back, short, thick guy, but he can run. So I think watch for him more so than Yant. What Jackson State was showing me is that they're trying to steal everything outside. So they're going to make things bounce. So if you do that to Jennings, you do that to Yant, that's kind of what Jackson State want to do, to make them bounce instead of hitting up in the hole and go. So the FAU transfer is the kid that's really been showing a lot of promise during camp. So I'll listen to you guys' comment.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call. For me, I don't think that having to play man-to-man all the time is always in your best benefit, because I think it's an easy read, right? The guy's he's been playing college football for like 9 years, right? I would hope, being at Virginia Tech, South Carolina, that you know how to read a man-to-man look, right? So I do think you need to mix it up some. I think there should be a heavy case of cover 2 playing against Powell State. Listen, I don't believe that you have to bounce it to make that run game work. I really don't. I believe that you'll be able, I'm telling you right now, and I know Bishop's in, if Bishop Bonnet was on this FAMU team, I would send Bishop. It would be, we won't do nothing off tackle. We going in between the guard, we trap blocking, we power blocking, we're going up the gut, because all I need is you to clip the back in that 4-2-5. All I need you to do is get in the backer's way. If we double up to the backer, I just need a crease and I'm gone, right? It's the same thing for JSU on the opposite side. Because if they go, I think FAMU plays like a 3-3-5 or a 4-2-5 or something like that. It's the same thing on both sides, right? I'm not trying to go off tackle. I'm trying to hit you in the 3, in the 5. I'm trying to go right in between there, and I need to double get to the backer, and I just need to find a crease and we out the gate. 88. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a big person of the spiel and all that. Listen, I'm trying to what's the thing in geometry? The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I'm trying to hit it right up the gut. Trying to hit it right up the gut. What you got before I go to the next caller?
I'll just simply go back to what he talked about, the run game, saying, asking, can Willie Simmons commit to the run game? I think that's going to be hard when you rank 12th in the SWAC last year, only averaging 94 yards a game. It showed Willie Simmons really didn't have the run game last year, so he's going to have to be comfortable with his running back and giving his running back the amount of carries and touches that he's going to look for in order to take the pressure off of Jeremy Musa. And if Musa starts to struggle in the passing game, you're going to have to open it up. But I understand what he's saying. Hopefully that FAMU will attempt to run the ball, but last year they didn't show you an attempt. 12th in the conference. I don't see that changing so fast, so quick with them against Jackson State early on. I think that's something Willie Simmons is going to want to get used to, because remember, he didn't do that same thing against Southeastern in that playoff game, did he? Right?
He didn't run it. He didn't run it. Not even a little bit. Reese, coming to you. Reese, you live.
Yo.
No.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. What's up? What's up, Sky? What's up, Perry?
What's goody?
So did you know Southern has never lost a game in Montgomery ever?
Ever.
So going to try to match up, that's going to be very interesting. Looking at the head-to-head, Southern is on a 5-game winning streak against Alabama State. With Alabama State only winning 2 of the last 12 games. So I think Southern's going to pull that one away. That's definitely going to be a good game, though.
I believe
and
so,
do
too.
You think
I said I believe so, too. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and do you think the Hurricanes going to affect Sam? You saying that it's probably going to hit Tallahassee around the Wednesday time point?
I mean, if you're from Florida, you should be used to a hurricane. I don't know. I mean, half the team from Florida, I don't think they're – I don't know how much a hurricane is going to affect Florida boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably know the procedure inside and out. Board the windows, batten down the hatches. Like, I mean, like, that's just what they do.
And my last thing, this is for Perry. Why has historically the game against Southern and Alabama State been played in Mobile? If you know anything about that.
Historically, I mean, you look at this game, it's been played between Baton Rouge and Mobile at one time. I mean, not Mobile and Montgomery. He's asking about Mobile when they used to play in the Gulf Coast Classic back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at what you have now, the Gulf Coast Challenge. It was just a matchup. Southern played Alabama A&M there just a few years ago in 2018. Mobile was just a Gulf Coast Classic spot, and both teams just elected to play in that game. I don't think it's much to it. It's just one of those classics from back in the day that made sense. When you talk about Southern's presence in Mobile, there's a lot of Mobile people that come to Southern, right? And you look at the proximity of Mobile to Montgomery, it makes perfect sense if you're looking to have a huge crowd amongst two teams who have a big presence in Mobile, Alabama.
And this is my last thing before I go. Hey, Scott, what we got to do to get you back in Mobile, man?
Dog,
I'm
not going back to Pebbles. That's an ass stadium. It is smack dab in the hood. I'm not doing it, bro. That is beyond a ninja event, okay? It is just too much for me, right? It's just too much for me, man. I can't do it, bro. I will never go back to Mobile. And what makes it even worse is Alabama State in the Grambling game, which I was going to attend if it was in Alabama State. I was going to pack my kids up. We was going to be in that game to see Miles Crawley come back to Alabama State. Where they want to play that game? In Mobile. Hell no, I'm not going to that game.
Man, I understand, man. But you take care, man.
All right, bro. Listen, I don't know why people let their games get moved to Mobile. It doesn't make any sense to me. It is a horrible ass stadium. Horrible. It's big though. But it's horrible. Dre, coming to you.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm interested to see how A&T plays versus UAB with Trent Dilfer as the coach.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I expect for Trent Dilfer to have a quarterback and be on the quarterback, but with a new team, you just never know. But I wanted to ask you this question because I actually got money on this game.
Oh snap!
No, not this game. I got money on Colorado versus TCU. I got the under. How would you scout Colorado? You know it's going to be a new team. You know it's going to be better than 1-11. And last year, the fourth quarter, it was 17-6 going into the fourth quarter. So how would you scout it if Sonny Dykes asked you, hey, I need help scouting? How would you scout him?
I would go back and look at a lot of the tape of the offensive coordinator. I believe he came from the MAC, right? Sean something. I would go check that out. And then the thing about his system at the MAC is he ran a very like spread triple option style, and Shedeur is not mobile. He's not the type of quarterback that he would usually use in that system. So I think you're not going to get a lot of mobility from Shedeur. So it takes away the triple part of the triple option in that system that he used to run in. I cannot remember what school Kent State. Thank you so much, Kevin. Kent State, right? So to me, if I'm scouting, I'm squeezing the field. Shedeur is going to have to prove to me that he is more than dinking and dunking. I am shrinking the field 20 and below. I'm going to make it so difficult for Shedeur to complete those passes. It's not even funny because I'm going to have the athletes to cover a lot of space. If they come out with Travis Hunter, I'm going to keep a safety over top of him because he's a big play type of guy. But everybody else, we are shrinking this field and we are squeezing it down to make sure he doesn't get comfortable early.
Okay. Want to know? I got a couple of hundred on it that they're going to cover. So wanted to see what you was going to say about scouting.
No problem, Dre. Appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate it.
7620 coming to you. Hey, calling you live. $76.20 coming to you. You live.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Scotty. Yeah, this is my first time calling in. I've been listening at you all the time, man, since first day. Hey, I don't know if you remember. I'm one of the guys from Jackson State. We invited you to my RV over there on our game day. I invited you and your wife to come over and eat there. You know, I know they were running you out the stadium.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I remember. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I live in Lafayette. I'm really from Mississippi, and my brother played football at Jackson State, and my whole family at Jackson State. But I want to say one thing. That South Carolina team, everybody talking about South Carolina didn't have nothing the year when they won the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina came in at 6-5, 5-6, barely won their conference.
6-5.
They lucked out and won that game because Shedeur turned the ball over 3 times on the 5-10 yard line.
Now, was that luck?
They lucked up and won that.
Now, was that luck or did the defense cause? See, this is the thing. This is my problem with that. You can't say. Hold on. You can't say somebody lucked up when they caused the turnovers. Like I can't say Jackson State lucked up with the picks that they got from Corey Fields. I can't say that, right? Because you went and got them, right? So you don't say that a team lucked up and got them when they caused the fumbles. That doesn't make any sense.
They caused the fumble because of the offensive line, true enough. But that's how they won the game, really. South Carolina didn't have anything. They ain't got nothing. They didn't have nothing then and don't have nothing now. South Carolina shouldn't even been in there. But everybody's saying, oh, well, Jackson State, South Carolina wasn't playing good. They weren't ready. They didn't have nothing. You can't take everything away from Jackson State. You got to give them credit. Dion left with the whole team, this and that. Like they say, you don't know.
You're taking.
Now everybody
hold on, old man. You taking stuff away from South Carolina State, and they beat you with a better team. Make that make sense. That's my issue. You can't disparage one team and then on the total opposite, big up your team. Because that's what you literally just did. Oh, they didn't have nothing. They shouldn't have been there. Da. And now you're talking about, we're this, we're that. Come on, bro.
Because the turnovers, that's why. And the momentum changed at the time. We drove down the field and scored on them.
That's
the
football.
First go out the block.
That's football.
South Carolina would have been gone, but Shedeur turned the ball over. Anytime you turn the ball over, we had a great defense, but the defense ain't going to hold on all night long with you give them the ball on the 10-yard line. Come on now. And Nugget screwed up back there. Everybody hollering Nugget. Nugget let them get us, 4-19. They got 4-19, and then he let them got a touchdown or two. Come on now.
Once again,
South Carolina shouldn't have never been in that game.
So how bad? Hold on. That ain't no but. How bad does that look on you then? If you're telling me they shouldn't have been in this game, and then they mollywopped you in the game,
because Dion got out coached. Dion was never a coach. He's a good motivator, speaker, this and that, and all the guys want to gravitate to him because they want to go to the next level. That's cool. But Dion is not a coach like TC Taylor. I know you see that. Everybody see that.
No, I don't.
TC Taylor.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
Okay, let me tell you. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right quick. You've been saying TC Taylor was demoted. Okay, you know why TC was demoted out of that offense? Because Dion wanted to pat his son, and I don't blame him. That's my son. I do the same thing. He wanted to get a guy in there with Jodeco can just pass to Travis. TC is all around offensive minded guy. Well, Dion didn't want that. He didn't want all the running. He wanted pass. But you see what TC can do. You see what he can do.
So let me ask you this. I just want a yes or no question. If he loses a game, if he loses a game in the SWAC, who's the better coach?
If what?
If TC Taylor loses a game in the SWAC, who's the better coach?
Well, we have to decide.
Oh, okay.
We have to decide. That can't be a deciding factor right now. We got to decide that at the end of the season.
So now he went undefeated for 2 years, and that doesn't count as good coaching. So I'm asking if you're telling me he's a better coach, shouldn't that equate into wins? Because TC Taylor has the number 1 FCS class, just like he did with Dion. So what's the difference?
The difference is when it comes down to the big games like the Celebration Bowl, Dion was out-coached twice.
TC Taylor
won both of them.
TC Taylor ain't been to a Celebration Bowl, so we don't know. So just like you said, you don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We got to wait, determine that at the end of the season.
So
then we can say.
So how can you say TC Taylor's a better coach in the first game? Make that make sense. If you're telling me we gotta wait until the end of the season, how in the first game of the season you gonna tell me he's a better coach?
I said TC Dion is not a coach. That's why he got out coached. Dion was never a coach. He had coaches around him to make him look good, but he wasn't a deciding factor. Because you saw Dion did a lot of stuff he shouldn't have been doing. Going for 2 at the time he shouldn't have been doing this and that, because he had the skilled players. But you could get, that ball just like South Carolina. You get them turnovers like that, game's going to change. Football. And even though you got a defense, he relied on his defense all the time. All the time. But I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you go ahead and hold it up. But I will say this, Jackson State, people know now. Now you know. But
I don't know shit.
Got 3, okay, well, you got three dangerous teams right now. I'm going to put it like this. You got FAMU, Alabama State, and Alcorn. Now, Perry, I don't think Southern got it, buddy. I'm going to be honest with you. And Perry is a straight-up guy. I like Perry. He's straight up. He knows football. He knows what's going, blah, blah, blah. He ain't, but those 3 teams, Jackson State probably could slip up on one of those teams. What you think?
It's on you, Perry.
He was talking a little shit to me, so I don't know what I think. You don't like Southern? What you don't like about Southern? What you all about Jackson? I can hear it. You feel Jackson deserved the respect because they went 1-0 against South Carolina State. Respect. But you started mentioning those other teams, and one of those teams was Southern. So what do you think about Southern that you think they don't have?
That who Southern don't have? I don't think Southern have. I hadn't seen the quarterback. I just don't think Southern have the team yet. I can't say individual they ain't got a quarterback. They ain't got a defensive back. I can't say that because I don't know their players like that. But I don't think they have a team. I don't think Southern coming out the West at either 3. I think it's Alcorn. I think it's Alcorn, Prairie View.
I agree with him.
Grambling.
Yeah, I do agree with him.
To be honest with you, I really do. I don't think Southern have it. I think Alabama State gonna beat Southern.
Let me ask you this:
Anyway,
you say you live in Lafayette. You from Mississippi. You got an RV. You gonna be in Baton Rouge?
I'm gonna be in Baton Rouge.
Are you coming
Well,
to
my
the
RV
Southern
is
Jackson State
at my
game?
brother's house, but yeah, I'm gonna be in Baton Rouge.
You gonna be tailgating with your RV?
Pardon me?
Will you be tailgating in your RV?
Will I be at the team in my RV?
Will you be tailgating at your RV?
Not at Southern, not this year.
Well, don't talk to me about no Southern thing. You won't even show up and have a good time over here with us, man. Come on, you right there in Lafayette.
I'm gonna be there, but not with my RV. I'll be at the game.
Oh man, pull up then.
I'm gonna come across the bridge there. Hop across the bridge there.
Hey, Mr. Ronnie, let me say this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If y'all lose, at the Orange Blossom Classic, I got your number. I will call you back on my live, and I'm gonna ask you the question: who's the better coach? Since that's what we're talking about, right? I'm telling you, don't lose.
Okay, right,
don't lose.
Right. You do that.
I will.
You do that.
I will.
Don't forget. Hey, Scotty.
What's up?
Scotty, can I say this?
Go ahead.
Hey.
I knew he was a hater.
Hey. If you
I knew he was a hater. The moment he mentioned
always
something.
can unfollow me. Hey.
I love it.
But anyway, I'm gonna say this and let you go though, man. No shit. That dude from Prairie View, what's his name? BJ? Is it BJ? That one fan. You got 9 fans, but he make number 10. He was talking all that noise, man. He don't know da-da about doo-doo.
Da-da about
doo-doo. Yeah, he don't know da-da. But anyway, bro, we're gonna talk about. I give you some history rundown, like I can give you some rundown history, like Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell.
All right.
But Scotty, I'm gonna say this one more thing, man. Don't let you go for real, bruh. That old girl Timona was on you way back here. What, a year or so ago, when you hung up on sheep. That girl have facts. Now that's one woman, female, knows her foot.
I'm not about to do yeah, okay. Anyway. Okay. Cal, it was all good about a week ago. Hey, Cal, coming to you.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Cal?
Well, as a Jack State fans, we can clean some of that up. You were saying, okay. TC Taylor out for one game is not equal DF Canada's off for 3 seasons and 2 SWAC championships and the National Coach of the Year. I'm just gonna say that right now. Please don't call that dude back. Lose a draw.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you, sir.
I mean, now let's talk about football. That was kind of hard. It was funny and hard at the same time. All right. Do you think the offensive scheme is going to give FAMU's defense problems?
Listen, man. If anybody's saying they don't know, it should be FAMU. Because nobody knows, man. I don't know. I mean, I think their DB room is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? I think their DB room is pretty nice. I don't know what their D-line is going to look like. They don't have Isaiah Land. They got General Hunt. I hope General Hunt is healthy. I don't know what they're going to look like. I know what Isaiah Major is. I know what I hope I'm saying his name right, Javon Morgan or Javon, however you pronounce it, Mr. Morgan. I know what Kendall Bowler is. I know what Morgan is. I know what Isaiah Major is. I know what General Hunt is, right? It's those other pieces that we got to understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know.
A JP fan, I don't trust FAMU's defensive coordinator at all. He's pretty bland. I've heard that many times. He's pretty bland.
I agree.
And, FAMU's offense, I'm probably more curious to see what happens there. I mean, because there's still things I want to see out of our defense. I would say running up the A gap might not be the best option though.
No, it's there. It's there. If you can hold it, it's there. But I mean, you saw freshmen getting 3 or 4 yards. I didn't know why they went away from it. I mean, it's there. If you can hit it, it's there. So,
well, I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
They got behind the chain. They had a penalty, and they pushed them.
Now that's the issue. That's the issue. The guy, you can't when you're a South Carolina State and you're inept at offense, you can't play behind the chains because that's a lose-lose situation, right? But when they got it going and they were running the ball, they could run the ball. Like let's not act like they did. Like you didn't see a freshman when he bounced it to the outside, got yards. When he hit it up the middle, got 4 to 5 yards. Like they were getting yards. They just weren't getting chunk plays that everybody wanted to or South Carolina State fans expected and hoped to see. But if we're talking about some pure Dawson Odom's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that was South Carolina State.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. I mean, it would have been pretty. It wouldn't have been exciting, but it would have got the job. It might have been a more interesting game. I mean, they definitely got outcoached. I'm just saying, if I'm playing against that Jackson's offense, it's a lot of motions and stuff. You got to be disciplined. And if Jackson State runs the ball on you, it's just going to be – and the play face coming to play. And, that's just – it's going to be down here from there. But I do want to see – there's some other questions I have for myself. But how high is that pressure on the Simmons right now?
You taking too long for me. The old man.
Let me ask you this. At the same time, I want to interject, and I know we've been talking football, but did you pay attention to anything? I know you're not the big band guy, but the National Battle of the Bands this past weekend in Houston, where you had, and I'm only bringing this up because as we talk about week 1 and we start talking about football, every week they're going to start judging because they're going to have this HBCU National Championship of Bands the night before the Celebration Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. So now there's going to bring extra added attention to these games on the field, not just the football team, but the bands. And I saw some pretty good bands this weekend over in Houston. Of course, Southern was there. Norfolk State is a band I think a lot of people need to watch out for. If you've never seen Norfolk, they have a good, clean sound. They have a style about themselves that nobody is matched. And it's within who they are. And I like it when you see it. Tennessee State, Florida A&M, Virginia State, Langston. And I think the one that surprised us all, if you've ever seen Mississippi Valley's band, right? To now see, I don't even know how they're going to sit this band on Mississippi Valley's home side. It's look like they're 300 students deep, man. They took up end zone to end zone when you look at what Mississippi Valley has been able to do to recruit. But this is an added extra part to the show now that I think when you start to talk about these bands, because you can't talk HBCU football without the bands. And I think you saw that Saturday at the MEAC SWAC Challenge in terms of the coverage that the bands got, right? It brought in the extra fan. It brought in the extra excitement. And so, I think Mississippi Valley, when you look at them being this big band, they caught a lot of people off guard. All those people, 7 drum majors. And for me, I've never seen Mississippi Valley with a big band like that, right? Never in my life have I seen it, but it's going to be interesting. Jackson State had a pretty good sound from what I heard over the weekend on watching them on television. South Carolina State band didn't have it, right? Nobody, for me personally, but I just think that adds a whole new element. Texas Southern as well was there. So, just to add that extra flair to the conversation, because I'm sure that's going to come up as the year go on, as you start to factor in the bands and we get to that night before the Celebration Bowl of this de facto national championship for HBCU bands. Hate it or love it, it's the culture, baby. I'm going to make sure the culture stay alive outside of the football. We do like the bands. Appreciate you.
Congratulations to the bands.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the bands. Rocky, coming to you.
If this motherfucker don't quit, stop talking about no goddamn band. It's a football show. What the hell are we doing?
Man, Rocky, hold on, man. Don't come on here calling me no motherfuckers, man. Don't be disrespectful.
I didn't know you was on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we may have to hang up and get you to try again, man, because they're a little disrespectful.
Look, what I'm saying about this here is I'm
I'm gonna act like that last 3 minutes never happened, and I'm pray to God I get my life back after those.
Well, Rocky, you can do what Scotty say all the time. You can unfollow us. You don't have to listen to the show, but you're not gonna be disrespectful. You're not gonna call me no motherfuckers. All right. So I want to make sure.
Time out. Hold on. No. Negative. You got Perry out here calling people stingy niggas, and
But you're not gonna call me a motherfucker to my face.
No, sir. Hold on.
Here's the deal.
Hold up. No,
hey,
stop.
Here's the deal, Scotty.
Stop talking.
If he felt some kind of way about the,
I muted him. Listen, listen, Rocky. I feel like Judge Judy. When I'm talking, shut up. All right, like I'm trying. It can't go both ways. Perry got out here calling the whole fan base stingy niggas, right? But then somebody say this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, is da. Oh, you being this? Nah, you ain't.
Man, you're not gonna let nobody call you no motherfucker.
You not getting that, Perry. You're not getting that, Perry. Nah, bro.
I got it. We just made sure we got that check. You can say something to me, but you're not gonna come in and pop it off and call me no motherfucking. I'm right here.
Perry, you calling the whole fan base stingy niggas.
You the reason I'm calling them stingy niggas. You said it that was stingy. I just added niggas. You said they were stingy. I added the word niggas. Come on, Rocky. I think we good now.
Hey, this is what I'm saying, Perry. I lost my bearings and I apologize. That's what band talk does to me. I apologize. And so I respect what you're saying, but that band stuff, man, really, this is football. But anyway, it's football season, not band season. But anyway, hey, and I'm happy it's football season. Don't y'all love that it's football season? Because guess what? We play one game and then we can move to the next. So JSU fans, it's FAMU. Move on to FAMU. You had a great game Saturday. Just move on. Y'all was playing a quarterback that essentially was playing with both hands tied behind his back. You really don't know what you have from a defensive standpoint because of that. Like, that's just the reality. Corey Fields was playing with two hands behind his back. You don't know. But I really think this FAMU game will give you an indication of what both teams really have. I really like Willie Simmons as a coach. Now, Scotty, you were saying you hope Willie don't Willie it up, right?
Yeah.
But I think if the pressure starts coming to Musa, what option does he have?
Okay, and the pressure comes to Jason Brown. I'm confused. Like
no. So again, I know what you're saying is that they're both similar and that they're both largely immobile. I get that, right? But at least Jackson State showed the ability to commit to the run, and they have, in their first game. But has Willie ever shown the ability to commit to the run when they are in a situation where they have a deficit at quarterback, or they struggling at quarterback?
I mean, listen. That's tough because in the situation they've only lost one game in the SWAC, and that's against Jackson. Everybody else they've beaten. Now, even though I might not have liked the way the game might have finished, especially against Alabama State, or especially against South Carolina State and Alabama State, were probably the two worst finishing games by FAMU. They still won without committing to the run. So I'm confused about what you're asking me.
No. What I'm saying is, I think against Southern last year, I believe Musa struggled against Jackson State. He struggled that game, and Willie's counter was not just commit to the run. Was Willie's counter was to get clever in the passing game to combat what was happening to him up front. You know what I mean? It wasn't a further commitment to the run by Willie. I've never seen him do that, even in the playoff game, right? It wasn't further commit when the quarterback is struggling. It's try to get more clever, try to get more tricky, and to Perry's point, even become more finesse. So that's what I don't think what I saw with Jackson State. I don't think FAMU can match their physicality, right? And when they can't match the Jackson State physicality, what is Willie gonna do with his playbook? Is he gonna get clever in the run game, or is he just going to go back to, his clever, tricky, finesse passing game? And I think he's going to go in his clever passing game. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to be forced to Willie, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't think this team is nowhere near. I really think people are giving this team from Jackson a lot of credit they don't deserve. The only thing that was great about this team was the interior D-line. Everything else was average. Was average. The DNs average, the linebackers average, DBs average, wide receivers there was nothing else that flashed other than the interior. Irv Mulligan was the only other special guy. Jason Brown, I couldn't really grade him because he was throwing to people that have nobody but Jesus around him. So how am I supposed to? You're 1 for 6 for throws over 15 yards, right? But you're throwing to people that's like nobody but Jesus underneath 10 yards. Like, I'm confused. So I don't. This is why I think the thing with me is this. I can give you that Willie's teams have been finesse teams in the past. I can give you that. I don't know what they are this year. But what I would like to see is his commitment change to the run. What I would like to see is his team be more physical. Who knows until the game starts? Right? But if we're basing it off what you've seen at Jackson against South Carolina State, I could have put 3 grandmas on that interior defensive line. They would have got pressure on Corey Fields. And even if they didn't get pressure on Corey Fields, he would have threw a pick regardless.
So what you're saying, Scotty, is because Corey Fields was inept as a quarterback, none of the other aspects of the game really mattered. Like how Jackson dominated up front, that didn't matter. How largely the linebackers were able to cover sideline to sideline. And I mean, personally, I know you mentioned it in the text that you saw wide receivers running wide open. I didn't see that. I didn't see that there were a lot of wide receivers that were wide open against Jackson State. I saw a pretty competent defense.
Okay,
that's what I thought.
You smoking crack.
But again, we'll see. We won't have to wait but a few more days to see how they play against Jackson
crack.
State.
If you telling me you saw competent defense, you smoking crack. You're smoking crack. If you telling me you saw a competent defense.
Jackson State's defense?
I'm talking about on South Carolina State. You said a competent defense.
No. I said Jackson State's defense was competent.
Oh, I thought you meant South Carolina. I was about to say, are you smoking crack if you said South Carolina State was competent?
No. Again, South Carolina State, from a defensive standpoint, they didn't put much of a fight up, in my opinion. They was still a fight. So you really can't.
So if they weren't putting up a fight, how you gonna give credit to a quarterback throwing it to people that a defense wasn't even putting up a fight? Make that make sense.
Scotty, because he was able to execute what was given to him. That's why I'm giving him credit. He was able to execute what was given to him. And I've seen McCray, I've seen the dude from Southern last year. I've seen a host of quarterbacks not be able to execute what was given to him in the sweat.
But were they playing a pillow team? Like that's like me as being a boxer walking into a ring where the fighter's already going to give me the fight and I still lose. How good can you evaluate me if the guy was going to throw the fight anyway? How good can you evaluate me as a boxer?
Scotty, I'm saying they're pillow fight, but that doesn't negate the level of execution that Jackson State was exhibiting out there. That tempo they were running was a serious tempo.
You're absolutely right.
Right? And that was a serious tempo they were running. And South Carolina State was having problems with it. Maybe that's why they were pillow fight. Maybe if they run that same tempo against FAMU down in Miami, FAMU will start pillow fight.
They might quit. It's possible. It's possible. But listen, if they're as good as you say they are, which you believe they are, then they go down to Orange Blossom Classic. Hold on. If you're telling me they're as good as you say or you think they are, they go down and they handle FAMU handily and they walk their ass back to Jackson and they keep it pushing. It's just that simple.
Okay. So I think you stretching what I'm saying, right?
No, I'm not.
No. I saw a competent defense. I saw a competent defense, and I saw an offense that was able to take advantage of what was there. That's all I'm saying, Scotty. You don't know until you get in a really competitive competition, right? To know what a quarterback truly is, till he starts getting hit in the mouth, till he starts getting pressure in his face, till they're tight.
Did you see any of that on Saturday? Did you see any of that on Saturday? Okay, so how can I evaluate Jason Brown?
I said he's able to take advantage of what's there. That's what I said.
Any decent quarterback should be able to do that, Rocky. I'm not going to give you a cookie for doing the basics of being a quarterback.
So, and my point is this: there are a lot of SWAC quarterbacks I watched over the past 3 years that couldn't do what Jason Brown did.
So we're giving. So okay.
Exactly
so now we're doing this. This is what we're doing. We're gonna lower the bar and say, oh, now because we're in the SWAC and we found a quarterback that can actually make a decent pass. This is the new standard. No, the standard is always what did coach say? The standard is the standard. A quarterback standard. I'm not going to give you a cookie for doing the bare minimum as a quarterback because you can make a bare minimum throw. I'm not going to give that for. I'm not giving you an A for that. I'm not giving you.
You using your football mind to evaluate these guys. When I think Perry made a great point that when you look at what the play that we end up watching, you have to put it in its proper context to truly evaluate it for what it really is.
This kid has been to Virginia Tech. This kid went to University of South Carolina. That standard of the SWAC is not there for him. That is not there for him, Rocky, and you know that. If you played against Florida in the SEC, I think you can make the bare minimum throw in a SWAC game. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you that.
You would hope he could. You would really hope he could. But and again, maybe that's my expectation based on what I've seen in the SWAC for SWAC quarterback. Maybe that's me lowering the bar, or whatever. Maybe this is the year, the golden era of SWAC quarterback, and that every SWAC quarterback is going to come in and be competent, be able to make the simple throw, be able to keep from overthrowing screen plays, be able to make a simple 5-yard out route pass. But I've seen that. I've seen where that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case for the majority of the quarterbacks that are behind the center. You got nicknames for these guys for a reason, Scotty.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go on this. Name me a quarterback that came from a Power 5 level that I did not hold to a standard. I held Jalen Jones to a standard. Mr. 4-star comes down and is absolutely ass, right? Who else came down? Jawan Pass. I don't think he came from Power 5. Oh, yeah, he came from Louisville. Came down, did his thing, and the championship game was absolutely ass, right? So there are quarterbacks that came down, and you're like, yo, what are you going to beat? Tyler Macon from Alcorn is now going to be in that boat. I'm not going to give you an A for making basic-ass passes. I'm not giving you that.
Jeremy Musa came from Vanderbilt.
Same thing. It's the same critique I have for Musa. I said, bro, you are hyper-focused on Xavier. If Xavier's not there, that's the only person, and you look like you panic.
But Scotty, at this level, at the FCS and the Group of 5 level, quarterbacks are not recruited. They are developed, in my opinion. They are not recruited like in Power 5 school. They are absolutely developed. And have you seen where quarterbacks get developed in this conference?
Akil Glass got developed.
Okay, all right, we got one.
I mean,
that's
what makes.
I'm just saying. I think you have a standard of quarterback play that has not been exhibited consistently in this conference, and we can agree to disagree about that.
I appreciate the call, Rocky. Let me ask you, Pete, before I.
It sounds like you about ready to call him a motherfucker. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a two-way street. All right.
My thing is this. Okay. When you address football in HBCU, you always say the product, right? You always say the product. So when I think of a product, I think about the encompassing of everything. you can have a special entity like a Devontae Kincaid, like a the guy that got drafted from Alabama State, right? The Bruce Eugenes, the Steve
Tavares Jackson.
Like you can have special players that because you're still looking for the guy to be the guy in that position. If it's a running back, wide receiver, the Michael Hayes from Southerns, you know what I'm saying? Like you can still get special guys just because, and let's keep it a buck. There's a lot of conferences that even in the Power 5, they struggle to find a quarterback. Quarterbacks are not easy to find.
Let's just talk about it. It don't matter if it's the SWAC, Group of 5, other FCS. It ain't a lot of good quarterbacks out there, period. It don't matter. Just look around the SEC. Truly, how many good quarterbacks are in the SEC, right? There's not a lot of good quarterbacks out there. And you talk about developing guys. You either find that special guy, and that's the difference maker, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about a program, or you don't. Certain programs find a special guy, and then it's all about the fit of that guy to your program and to your scheme and to your offense, right? There have been some guys that have talent, but the scheme didn't fit them, right?
Yeah.
And as well as building the talent around him. Andrew Body is a special guy. I think he had the talent to probably go a lot of other places, right? But it's about building the talent around him. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks in this conference, whether they came from the Group of 5, Power 5. Tavares Jackson came from Arkansas that went to Alabama State, right? But let's just not live in this world as though just because you come from a Power 5 or a Group of 5, that to me does not automatically make you great. It's not that many great quarterbacks out there. You're probably just a run-of-the-mill guy. You just enough to be a facilitator. You enough to be a game manager. And I don't know why we feel like every quarterback has to be that dude. Most quarterbacks are literally just game managers. Just do what's asked of you. Everybody is not that stud. Everybody is not that dog at quarterback, right? And that's simple as that. I think somebody who was a great game manager, when you asked for him to do it, he did it. And other than that, he didn't. Noah Johnson, that was at Alcorn. Great guy when you talk about being able to run what they asked him to do. And for me, I just think overall, that's a perception. That's an idea that we got to look at. But, that's all I have.
No, I agree. And there's nothing. Listen, if Rashawn McKay he was the ultimate. I mean, Mr. Campbell will call it ultimate game manager, right?
He's such a game manager. I walked up and shook his hand after they beat Southern and said, bruh, good shit. Even though it was a hard, I had to shake his hand, bro, because you was dogging him out the whole year. But the fact that he was able to get the dub and it wasn't nothing spectacular at all.
Nothing spectacular, right? So the thing for me is I have a standard for this is my thing. The praise that Jason Brown is receiving, all I'm saying is I have to hold back on it some because of the competition he went against. It would be no different than if he went against a D2 team and put up those same yards. I would be like, okay, that's great. I mean, yeah, but look what he's playing against. It's the same thing for South Carolina State, right? But the thing for me is I'm not going to give you kudos for the bare minimum. I'm sorry. I just can't. Now, if he was out there 5 for 8 over 20 yards, I'm like, yo, this Bama was dropping dimes. Like, he was just bombs over Baghdad. But that wasn't the case, right? So that's what I'm saying. This game, to me, is going to be the barometer of Jason, of what he truly is. Is he a game manager or is he a guy? It's the same thing for Musa. Listen, this ain't just for Jason. This is also for Musa as well. I don't think Musa is a guy. I will tell you that. I don't think he's a guy. I don't. I think Musa is a high-level game manager, just like Jason Brown at this point in time. So to me, this game really is going to show who is a better game manager.
And these coaches, we know in the SWAC sometimes fuck their team over by just being stuck on stupid sometimes, right? And I hate to be so rude about it, but when you see they just keep going for what they know without the adjustments, right? Without going up and dialing something else. And that's another thing that we got to see is it going to help or hurt these quarterbacks being stuck? Because if Willie Simmons goes in here and don't try to open up a run game to help Musa, I mean, you're going to put Musa in a predicament that's going to force him to have high levels of attempts throughout the game, in which if Jackson State defense remotely has any success, then where's the blame going to go? It's going to go straight to Musa, right? Jason Brown, at least you've seen what they want to do. They'll go to him when they want it, but they already shown they're gonna ride on Mulligan.
Yeah.
What Mulligan's able to do, they're gonna ride on him. So it takes the pressure off of Brown. Brown just so happens to make the play when they ask him to make the play. And that's what makes the good quarterback when you get that cohesiveness of a run game and a passing game. That's when your offense begins to click.
Absolutely. Listen, and for both of them guys,
I hear everybody talking about what they gonna be. I got high hopes for you niggas. We gonna see.
listen, I got high hopes for y'all. Okay, that's all it is. It's just that simple. What's up, Pete?
Don't forget, though, you and KJ Black got a bet coming up this weekend. I want to make sure I put that back out there. If he's watching.
For Texas Southern. Yeah, PV. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
So y'all need to collaborate. Y'all need to talk during the week.
I need
Next
to
week.
Yeah.
I need to see you either in a PV or a Texas Southern shirt. And make sure, KJ, we have not forgot. If Prairie View, and I picked Prairie View. Come on, Prairie View. Damn, now. I know y'all be complaining about them 7 fans. I'm being number 8 this weekend. Come on now. Rock with me. But listen, KJ, you said if Texas Southern win, you going to post a video yelling Andrew Body.
On Instagram and Twitter.
I just want to make sure, KJ, you didn't sneak away wherever you at. If you listen or you listen back later, be sure to get your Texas. How he gonna get a Texas Southern shirt?
You know what? I'm gonna get with Mama Body, and we gonna send him. We gonna get him right. We gonna get him right.
Don't send him an Andrew. Get him the full TSU maroon and whatever other color. Like you got to drip him down, and he got to say Andrew Body. He got.
I did it all. I did it all. Come on, Andrew. I need it. All right, this is what I'm gonna take 3 more callers. Listen, I'm gonna take all you Bamas on here. Let me lock this.
The conference has been locked.
All right, I'm gonna take all these callers and then we're gonna get up out of here. Mr. D, coming to you, and then Coach Green. What's up, Mr. D?
What's going on, Scotty? How you doing?
What's good?
Good. Perry, you okay, man? Boy, that MF was kind of bad there. I felt you was about to break through that screen.
I'm glad you come respectful, brother. One brother to another brother, respect.
Yeah, that's good, man. I appreciate your football wisdom and knowledge. And, I haven't done this yet, but I think you and Scotty are going to grow well with the show, and look forward to supporting you all both on this, okay?
Appreciate you.
Let's get to this game. Now, I'm going to talk, Scotty, I'm going to bring us 2 things that I think people are not going to talk about. The issue is the heat, because I think JSU is on the side that FAMU was on. I think they switched sides, right?
They do. The FAMU's finally on the home side.
FAMU's on the home side. So that JSU band, that Sonic Boom, they're going to be passing out. So they probably need to go ahead and get that gear ready to go. The second thing is special teams is going to be the win of this game. Jackson State does not have a kicker. I mean, that he cannot kick. FAMU got a kicker and a punter. So I'm telling you right now that this game is going to come down. It's not going to be a blowout. FAMU is going to get this game, and they're going to win it because of special teams. What's y'all thoughts on that?
I thought Jackson kicker, did he go 3 or 4 on field goals?
Definitely did.
He missed that one before halftime and hit off the upright, but he made those other field goals.
Yeah, but they weren't far.
I mean, you make them. If it's from the 1 or from the 50, a field goal, the points is points.
I've seen SWAC kickers miss extra points. Okay, so making a kick in a SWAC is just like finding a quarterback. It's hard out here in these streets. Okay, so I'm not taking no field goals for granted. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So well, I'm just telling you, I think the heat on the Jackson State side is going to be an issue. And this is going to come down to special teams. I think I just don't know FAMU's team because I saw some of the team over the summer, but I really haven't seen. I just don't know what we have. So I'm gonna make that a push, and I'm just going with the special teams. But y'all keep up the good work, man, and holler at y'all later. And Perry, next time when you need some help, I got your back, man.
Black Power.
I appreciate the call, Mr. D. Hey, Coach Green, coming to you.
Man, is it me or are these? Man, I'm starting to understand you not, Scotty. Because, man, it's like Jack State won one game and all of a sudden, Dion can't coach.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying, bro? This is crazy.
Like, Dion can't coach. Jason Brown is Dan Marino.
Thank you. Come on.
Like, this is one game.
Jeez.
The season is like a marathon.
Jeez.
You know, me as a coach, I understand this. The season is a marathon. One game don't mean jack. You win one game, you move on to the next. This is a whole marathon. Because, man, these people out here are tripping. you remember why I texted you last night, right?
I didn't remember reading it. What'd you say?
I was saying, because, you know, they was 3 for 9 on third downs. They ain't going to mention that part. 3 for 9 on third downs. But I say, if Shador's the quarterback, do Jackson score more points?
Hell yeah, they put up 60 on them boys. Think about the receivers that they have. Oh my, they'll put up 60 on them dudes quick, fast, and hurry.
Yeah, that's what I want them to see. You know, they keep on getting ahead of themselves. Look, slow your roll. Wait for FAMU. FAMU is a real test. This is gonna be a good test for y'all. And then y'all got another test after that.
That's all right.
Y'all know who that test gonna be.
What test is that, Coach Green?
Cause y'all gotta come. Oh, they gotta cross that bridge.
I think it's an open book test.
they gotta cross that bridge.
Oh, okay.
And they know what happened when they crossed that bridge.
Okay.
But yeah, man, they were killing me with that, man. I'm starting to understand you more and more, Scotty. Why you do what you do?
I appreciate that. Man. People don't understand it.
I'm starting to get more on your side. And then, you know, Mike pissed me off the other day on your show because he act like I didn't pick them, even though I ain't say they're gonna score all these damn points. He act like I didn't pick them.
Mm-hmm.
I did pick them, didn't I? Now he pissed me off. I'm not gonna pick them this game.
Who you got?
I'm not going to pick them.
What's your score?
What's my score?
What's your score?
My score is 21-15 FAMU.
21-15?
Yep.
How they get 15?
Safety.
I'll go. I know. I get what?
I need my recline. I'm just sitting back. I'm listening.
15?
You know.
15, Coach Green? Man, now you agree with me makes me look crazy. 15? Oh, 21-15. 15? Safety. Anyway, let me see. 59-39 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? How are you?
What's up?
What's going on, Perry? How are you, brother?
Good evening.
Y'all. So, if you're Jablonski Green, right, and you're calling Gentle Hutt and other members of the defensive line from FAMU, what do you think he's saying to them?
That's a lot of hypotheticals, my boy. I mean, like first Jablonski got to know Gentle, then he got to have his number, and then they got to like have a conversation. That's a lot of hypotheticals in this situation. But since we playing this game,
I have an idea. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you got an idea, go ahead. Push it out there.
I have an idea. I'm thinking he's saying, hey, y'all need to go watch the film. Jackson State keyed in on me. They neutralized me. They was overly physical with me. We could not keep up. You saw me go to the sidelines. The trapping and the inside counters and the misdirection. Scotty been saying for a day now, you need to bring your eyes. You need to bring your eyes, your endurance, and your stamina, and you need to bring your head and your physical. And you also need to be physical on top of that because I was neutralized. and Coach Mo and Coach O are better than the defensive coordinator from FAM, and that's proven. And so, and Patrick Goldbot, who got 2 sacks, right? Arguably, him and Jablonski are. I think y'all would say that they're might be up to par better than what FAMU Gentle Hunt. So if I'm Gentle Hunt right now, I'm like, man, this might be my hardest game. And Coach Mo, he's coming after me to neutralize me. I want y'all thoughts on that.
Perry, you can take that one.
What did he say?
I said that a lot of people been down on like what South Carolina wasn't from the defensive standpoint, but number 4 played well, number 11 played well, number 8 played well, number 43 played well, number 34 was keyed on and he was neutralized. So I'm saying, don't y'all think that Coach Mo is going to neutralize the best people on the defensive line, and don't y'all think they're going to key in on them, and don't y'all think they're going to cause them a very big problem?
Scotty, you got it.
Oh my God, bro. Are you serious right now? All right, man. Perry, listen, you got to take calls too, Perry. Jesus, you can't just sit there and stare at me. Anyway, listen, man, I look at it like this, right? I'm going to ask you this question. Could Patrick or Jablonski start at DN on Jackson State?
I think the way Patrick played on Saturday, I think
I'll help you out because you're taking too long. Yes, right? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. But when you don't, the thing for me is this, right? When there's the thing about it is this: when you are able to isolate matchups and win one-on-ones, because the DNs weren't the problem in the Pie State versus South Carolina State. That wasn't the problem. The DNs were not the problem. It was the interior line, right? And they couldn't do anything with it. Well, it's the flip side on the offensive line. They're like, hey, their 2 most talented guys are on the outside. We'll focus on them. We'll hold up in the inside. We're good to go. So it's just a reverse of it's literally the reverse of what it is, right? Now, could you have made isolations? Could they have blitz? Could they have brought more than they could block? Absolutely. But then you have to trust your back end to hold up and all those type of things. So me personally, I think Thomas Howard did a horrible job of scheming for this game. I think he did a horrible job of adjustments in the second half for this game.
To look at it, Scotty, or Coach Maurice Harris could have done a very highly effective job at neutralizing Javonte Green. Because I just want to, if you go watch the film again, I want you and Perry to go watch the film again.
I've already watched it twice.
If you go watch, go watch the play where Irv Mulligan puts his hand in the ground to gain balance. Watch Javonte. He was so confused because of the count, because of the misdirection that he ran himself out of the play. It's like, man.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you this. What's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew, have you ever played football before?
Not since 8th or 9th grade.
Okay, so let me help you out. This is how this works. There are keys that Jablonski Green as a DN has to read. So what you would say he's out of the play, he has to respect his keys. So that's the thing with misdirection. That's what happens, right? So if I do a counter, right? Or if it's I'll give you a good example, like an RPO. If his key is the quarterback, if he goes for the running back and the quarterback keeps it, it looks bad for Jablonski because he didn't keep his key. Now, if they do an RPO and Irv keeps it and he hits Jason but didn't get the running back, it's a key. So he has to read his keys no matter what the situation is. Even if it's misdirection, he has to read his keys.
On the defensive tackle, that particular play. That's why I'm like, go watch that Irv Mulligan play.
He still has to read his key. Man, Matthew, go read a football 101 book, please and thank you. Listen, bro, when you're talking about misdirection, everybody has a key. Everybody has an assignment on how they read going back. Now, the great ones, they can outplay they'll shoot the gap. Maybe they're slanting in the right part and they beat the play, or they guess right, or things like that. But really, for misdirection, it's supposed to be to confuse the linebackers. That is the true definition of a misdirection, is to really get the linebackers to look somewhere or to fill a hole that they're not supposed to be in. Because that's like if a tackle has a shade in the inside and his job is to go through the A gap, well, the linebacker's job is to cover the B gap. If he reads his keys the wrong way and he follows into the A gap, now the B gap is wide open. That's what misdirection is for. That is what motion is for. That is what all this stuff is. There are keys to read this thing. You can't just say to somebody, oh, did you see when the D tackle went the wrong way? He either got mollywopped that way or he read his key that took him that way.
He had them like they was renegades out there. Just do what you want. See ball, get ball.
Why when they threw a flare pass, he didn't come across the field and run him? That's not his job.
I don't let people. I'm not gonna get flustered. I just tag you it. All right. So
and
you got that one.
And you made him repeat it, and then just said you was an ass, dog. You made him repeat it. You was all. Now you got it, Scotty. I'm like, yo. I'm like, really? This what we doing?
Tag you it. I get where he was going. It was just I didn't want to go in that. You see what you had to do to explain that? And he's saying to watch film. I just didn't want to go down that road, because just didn't want to do it. I leave it for my boy Scotty. Football IQ 1,000. 1,000. Wow. Good job, Scotty.
Or like 500. I'm not.
You broke that down for that brother.
Thank you. I try.
You talked about the gaps, the assignments. You talked about the schemes. Come on now. Damn good job, Scotty. You've been in the film room. Damn good job.
Oh,
what's the dude name who be watching the film and he be on everybody's ass? You know the dude, the comedy?
Coach 30 for 30. Coach 30. Coach 30.
That's you. You Coach 40. Coach 40 for 40. There you go. I like how you did that.
Oh my goodness. 47-18 coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty? You got the patience of a saint, man.
Man, listen, the show wouldn't, because then people say, oh, Scotty hangs up on everybody and Scotty don't give nobody a chance. And because people just looking for a reason why they're like, that's why I don't call in, because Scotty don't even let me talk. He just gonna cut me. I let people talk. I love people dig their own hole every now and again.
Yeah. So they gonna want opinions, man. They gonna want to talk about it. They don't know nothing about it. I mean, sometimes it's just better to let them get out what they're gonna say, because backlashes ain't worth it. But what I saw this weekend, I don't know why Jack State is giving Pothole State is giving Uncle Brown too much credit. He didn't do anything really impressive. I mean, I would say Maurice Harris did a great job, in running the offense around what he can do. I would say JSU, D-line, they're very legit. I give them that. We just got to see consistency out of them. But this South Carolina State they just look out of whack. I don't know what Buddy Pugh sees in Corey Fields that it should have been someone he could get in the portal to replace Corey. I'm sorry, this guy been in the program, but you just have to look at it at this, 6 years he's been there and he still hasn't produced. Facts. Now you really do see that Shaq, Davis really made Corey Fields into what he was. But without him, now you're getting to see, the truth. Corey Fields is just not that guy. So moving forward, South Carolina State, they're going to have to, make some, very good adjustments and go out recruiting, because they didn't do a very good job at it. So I don't think this is going to be the year they go back to the Celebration Bowl. I see maybe a repeat of 3-8. That's the best they can hope for on the court field. But Jackson State, we just can't go off what Jason Brown did this first game. There's a lot of questions that got to be answered. And we'll see that moving forward, how FAMU responds, because now they have film on Jackson State. It's very easy for them now to game plan around everything. So,
I agree.
That's all I had to say, Scotty.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the call. Go ahead, B.
Oh, no, I'm not with him.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the Prairie View and Texas Southern people? This is the Labor Day Classic. I haven't heard everybody talking about FAMU and Jackson State. I get it, right? God damn. All right, I got it, right? Even I'm gonna bring up Southern. Where are the Bama State fans at? Right? I haven't heard Southern and Bama State. That's gonna be a good game. If you circle that, you talk about early sweat games. Prairie View and Texas Southern. Somebody finna find out who they are in the West. Where are the Prairie View and Texas Southern people? That's a big rivalry to start the season.
If
I ain't heard nothing from nobody.
If you got 10 fans and 3 of them watching the show, everybody can't call in.
Damn, I'm just curious as I'm looking at the matchups. There are 3 good matchups to start the season, and they all SWAT games. FAMU, Jackson State, Southern, Bama State, PV, Texas Southern. I mean, damn, where they at? They ain't got nothing to say. They don't talk no noise. They ain't got to say, hey, PV all day, every day, TSU, whatever. I ain't heard a Hornet. I ain't heard a buzz from a Hornet yet.
Because they know Demetrius Davis ain't the answer. They not about to put themselves on the guillotine knowing that they got to worry about Demetrius Davis backing them up. Come on, man. That ain't what it is.
Damn, I ain't heard Grambling and Hampton. Grambling been quiet. I ain't heard them say nothing about Hampton, right? This is week 1. What the hell going on? Everybody just gonna watch one game. Black college football. We literally just gonna watch one game this weekend. It ain't no good games on. I guess to hell with PV, Texas. I'm gonna cross that out. Nobody give a damn. Hampton, Grambling. I'm gonna cross that out. Don't nobody give a damn. Southern, Bama State. I'm the only one that give a damn. All right, let me cross that one. I put a check by that one because I'm the only one give a damn. Everybody want to watch FAMU and Jackson State. I don't understand it.
It's the game of the week, man. The game of the week.
But it's been a while since we've had these type of matchups to start the season off in week 1.
That's fair.
Normally they cry about why are we playing FBS schools, right? Why are we playing this school and that school? And we got these good matchups, man. Nobody give a damn about it. I'm just saying, where your fans at?
They in the chat.
Okay. All right.
They in the chat. They in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is.
It's just mighty quiet to be week damn 1, considering we got some great. I thought I was gonna hear from some Grambling folks about Hampton, right? I thought this is the year the G gonna bring it back, right? Hugh Jackson then put the G back on the helmet. I just thought we was gonna hear something from Grambling, right? Quiet as a damn mouse, right? Hampton, I understand. They bougie. They sleep anyway. It's past their bedtime. They got good jobs to go to in the morning. Gotcha, Hampton. But damn, Grambling, where you at?
Jobs to go to in the morning.
Yeah, they got good jobs. Them Hampton folks, they get up. They got yoga at 5:30 in the morning. They do stuff like that. Yeah, tennis and stuff. But damn, man. I mean, nobody cared about these other matchups. I'm tired of hearing about Jackson State. Everybody, we saw film on them. You're going to start to see that more and more. That's why everybody's questioning all this, because you had a chance to see Jackson State, right? Look like you overly indulged in Jackson State. Motherfuckers like go back and watch the film again and again. I think we saw enough of what we needed to see, but come on, man. It's some other games going to be played. Don't miss out, and then looking at us to break it down, then we're going to tell you to go back and watch the film again, right? Some good games out there. You need to be tuned in to PV and Texas Southern, Hampton and Grambling. That's a game I really want to see. Hampton and Grambling. That's going to tell me a lot. Southern and Bama State.
Are they broadcast? I know they're going to finally broadcast the State Fair Classic. I think that's going to be broadcast. I think that might be on HBCU Go.
Yeah, HBCU go out here showing games. Some of these teams are streaming. I'm sure Bama State going to stream that game, right? Or if it's not going to be
that shit is going to be ass.
Well, ESPN may pick it up, so I don't know. I think it may be an ESPN Plus.
If Alabama State is broadcasting that game, don't watch it. I'm telling you that. They ain't going to have no score. They ain't going to have no time. They ain't going to have no announcers. They are absolutely ass when it comes to broadcasting the game. Don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. Just get the highlights off Instagram or whatever they post them and go about your happy own way because that junk is trash, absolutely trash. It says Hampton's going to be on the NFL Network.
Great, perfect. Everybody should be tuned into that. That is traditionally when you look at those teams, man. That just lets you know how far where we at, to where that doesn't cause any excitement when you look at Hampton and Grambling, man. Those are two storied programs. When I look at HBCU football, that means something when I see them playing each other. And I think Grambling got something to prove. Everybody talking about FAMU and Jackson State. Don't nobody think Grambling got nothing to prove?
I said they got something to prove. I picked.
They got something to prove too.
Yeah.
But everybody else.
I really wanted to go with Hampton, but I really wanted to go with Hampton, but I think Grambling just needs it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. I think Hampton is the better team, me personally.
I do too. I do think Hampton's the better team. I just think that Grambling needs it more. That's why I'm rolling with Grambling on that one.
And I could be a lie. I'm already 0 for 1, right? I'm already 0 for 1. South Carolina State, I won't pick them again. They over with. I won't go there with them again. But, I mean, damn, I just want to see somebody just put a little fight into the rest of these matchups. We got some great SWAC matchups this weekend, and nobody's saying nothing. Now, the MEAC seems to be in a Division II stage right now. I mean, if you just look at the amount of matchups, Delaware State, Bowie State, Norfolk State, Virginia State, North Carolina Central, and Winston-Salem. Old school matchups that mean something, but D1, D2, even those, if you're talking about nostalgia, bring back some memories for some of those fans. As I say, the alumni from back in the day, right? That gives them an opportunity. The only game I just see that's just out of whack is that Richmond versus Morgan State game. But when you talk about a weekend of black college football, this is a great week one of black college football. And all everybody want to do is talk about damn FAMU and damn Jackson State. I'm over it.
Hey, listen.
I get it, but damn.
It's like listen, what happens is like it's like when you go to ESPN or Undisputed or whatever and they talk about the Cowboys. That's just what it is, right? That's why we have to talk about all the games, because if we didn't, then YouTube would just be surmised with Pothole State everything. It would just be a surmising of Pothole State everything. Pothole State over here, Pothole State over there, Pothole State over here, Pothole State over there. That's what it would be.
Well, I just want to remind people, when I look at division, when I just look at black college football, this is a great week for black college football. I'll go over one more time for y'all, just so y'all make sure you watch some other games. You got Prairie View and Texas Southern. That's two teams who was almost in the SWAC championship last year, right? Yep. Prairie View went to Itabena and lost. Texas Southern was right behind and went to Huntsville and lost. One of these two teams could have been in the SWAC championship. How does that not create excitement for game one of the season to have both those teams to start the season in a great rivalry of the two HBCUs in Texas right there, not far from each other, right? Absolutely. Damn, I'm the only one going to be paying attention to that game, I guess. Me, you, and Miss Body, all right? Hampton and Grambling, just storied programs. How do you not pay attention to watch this in the Brick City? They taking HBCU football to the Northeast, right? Going to take it to Jersey, right? Going to get an opportunity to Jersey, right? Give opportunity to give people up there a taste of black college football of two brands of Grambling and Hampton, who to me, it just brings back the old days of these are two programs that I knew. Hampton in the 90s, if you remember, some Heritage Bowls, right? Grambling, more SWAC championships than any other team in the conference when you talk about football. Just, it has something to it that if I'm a fan, I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
You cannot help but to watch that. All right. Now, Valley and Central State is black college football, right? At the end of the day. But to me, that's a perfect matchup for Valley to get on the right track. Absolutely. Whether people pay attention to Valley or not, this is a perfect matchup for them against Central State in Chicago. Once again, we on the road. We taking black college football back to an urban city in order to sell our brand, right? This is a good matchup. Whether it's probably going to be about 10,000 people at the game, but it don't matter. I'll still be paying attention because Valley could very well get upset in this game. Just, it could happen. All right. Southern and Bama State. Look at these two guys in their second year of their programs.
Listen, it was either between if Pothole State would have lost, the game of the week would have either been this one or the Texas Southern and Prairie. I mean, you can't. These two games right here are just are locked in.
They mirror each other. Both teams with decent defenses last year in the conference. I would say on the upper side of defense in the conference, but struggled offensively. Southern was just able to run the ball better than Alabama State. Alabama State struggled to run the ball, right? But when you look at them overall, this game is a good game. And if you know anything about them, when the two teams come together, especially in Montgomery, oh, man, you're going to get some shit talking. There's going to be plenty of that this weekend in that stadium. All right, you can't help but watch and pay attention to that for me. And then you get to the D1s, to the D2s, in which these schools know each other so well. North Carolina Central versus Winston-Salem, right? The defending Black College national champions, right? Taking on Winston-Salem, who traditionally a few years ago we saw as a powerhouse in D2 football. These two programs mean something when you talk about proximity and history between them. I really want to see, nobody's talking about, we got to see what North Carolina Central is going to come out and look like. That quarterback come out, and will he still be the same guy as last year?
Yeah.
Will they be a physical, tough team, dominant team like last year? I mean, there's a circle around Winston-Salem, although they D2. Hey, we've seen D2 HBCUs beat the D1s, right? Let's go Norfolk State. I must be the only one that give a fuck. Get it?
You are.
Got it.
Now you are. Now you definitely are. You are definitely the only person that gives two fucks about this game. I'll give you that right now, because
let's go, Coach Oldham. Let's go, Coach Oldham. Since we're gonna shut Scotty up, but still Virginia State. Man, that's just black college right there. I don't know nothing else to say. Norfolk State, they both states. Norfolk State, Virginia State. All right. That's all I got to say.
The Battle of the Mohawks.
Look, the Spartans and the Trojans. This
I
is
love
deep
that.
shit.
That logo is dope by the Virginia State Trojans. That junk is fire. He got a black nose and everything. I love it.
I'm going with the Spartans, but the Spartans and the Trojans. See, it's the little stuff that people overlook. Then you got to look at the mascots like, damn, I didn't even pay attention to that. All right, now the one I think is going to probably, you got to be in that area, right? But it's still worth looking at. Delaware State, Bowie State. Can Bowie State beat them? Can they beat them?
It's possible.
What you think?
It's possible.
Do you like the new Bowie State?
I've talked to a couple players that left the program, that graduated. They love Kenny. They think he's a great. They were like, I talked to a couple players. They was like, yo, we're glad that he stayed. A lot of the kids that were going to leave, they didn't leave because of him. He knows the program really well. I mean, Delaware State and Bowie State has kind of been like a ongoing matchup that they've played for a few years now. I don't expect them to win, but I think it could be competitive.
All right, from the D1 to D2 schools that we see of the MEAC, who do you think of those D2 schools have the best chance to win? And even not just them, with Valley Central State, North Carolina Central, Winston-Salem, Norfolk State and Virginia State, and Delaware State and Bowie State. Which one of those D2 schools you think have the best chance to upset one of those D1 schools?
Virginia State against Norfolk. I'm not even trying to be funny. I really don't like. I don't know what Norfolk State is, right? And VSU is going to run the ball. That's what they're going to do, and they're going to, or that Virginia Union. One of them are like really, really good at running the ball. You know what I'm saying? My second one, I'm a Valley believer. I think Kendrick Wade has got that program. I think he's going to have that program humming. So I'm not going to give it to them, but I do think that Bowie State will be my second one. Bowie State will be my second one. But I think VSU has a good shot of knocking Norfolk State off. I really do.
That'd be an upset. I'm gonna go with Central State and Valley. I want to see what Valley's gonna look like. I think that's a turnaround. I think you have to get your program together. I don't know. Something about that to me screams equally yoked for me. And I'd be interested to see that. I think if I go one D2 over a D1, I'm going to go Central State over Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. But just black college football, this week one. We cry and whine about why everybody going to play these schools. You see them other schools we're not talking about, right? Go to that, who playing the FBS? What the FBS list at?
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, 0-7 ass whooping. Right. Check that out. We're not gonna learn anything about none of those teams. A&M, they only get paid to win SWAC games, right? Tennessee State, if anybody watched Notre Dame and Navy that last week, you know, I hope they, I don't know, say some Hail Marys for them, all right? Howard, that's the one, man. I don't know, man. Something about that Howard in Eastern Michigan. I don't know, Scotty. I'm serious. I don't know. It's something about that to me that has a undertone writing that it could possibly be an upset. I don't know, but I'm feeling that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what they in Ypsilanti, you know what I'm saying? So
are we back on that?
You know, I'm excited to see what A&T looks against with somebody brought that up on the caller. A&T against UAB, how they look, Alcorn versus Southern Miss. That would be my. I know they don't have a realistic shot, but I think that would be a great game.
What do we know about A&T? Do you know much about A&T coming into this year?
Not really, other than I think their defense is supposed to be pretty good. They got to find a new running back because Tootin is gone. They got the quarterback Eli. I want to know what the new coach is bringing in. You know what I'm saying? He was a defensive minded guy when he was at William and Mary. So, I mean, hopefully A&T's defense looks good. But I think this is it's a great barometer to see where they're at and see where their strengths lie at. Like I said, the Memphis and Bethune-Cookman game is I want to see this game so bad just because I want to see what Bethune-Cookman puts on the field. That's really because I don't know anything about them. Don't know anything about what Bethune-Cookman has, quarterback, running back, Roberts, nothing. So I'm just curious to see what they look like. So not realistically thinking they're going to win, but just wanting to know what they look like. But I think
who get their ass whooped the worst on here?
Oh, easily Tennessee State. Taking Notre Dame out the situation because we already know what Notre Dame's going to do. The next one that's going to get their ass whooped is A&M. A&M going to get the dog. A&M is going to have to pass the sticks. By the first quarter, A&M going to have to pass the sticks.
Yeah, I don't even think Connell Manning even got a damn game plan for this one. He just shit. They ain't paid me for this one. So, I think, to be honest, and I like UAPB, I think Tulsa may work UAPB out. I like Alonzo him. Did you listen to the SWAT call earlier?
Yeah. No.
Fiery coach. You can't help but get inspired listening to him, but I just don't think they got it. I mean, and maybe just like everybody else, we got to watch and see. But I think that's one of them games where, you let little old Tulsa just kind of really put them away. I think that's going to probably get out of hand as well. That's going to get ugly. Tulsa's going to have to come out and really try to work on some things for themselves. I think Southern Miss may get ugly on Alcorn. All these games got the potential to be ugly. I think it's only two that we feel that may be a game, and I'm feeling that Howard, Eastern Michigan, and maybe A&T has some type of fight in them against UAB.
Yeah, somebody said Memphis 63, BCU 3. God, dog. Yeah.
Get your money, man.
Hey, get it and go. Get it and go. Come out that junk healthy. But Perry, anything else you got? What you got coming up for the week, P?
Man, getting ready to hit the road to go to Montgomery, Alabama. Hey, be nice to me, Montgomery, but I know you're not. But look, why you look like that, Scotty?
It's at the Gump or is it in Mobile?
It's in Montgomery. It's on the stadium of Alabama State.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might,
right off the interstate, right there. So
we might drive down it. We might drive down it. I'm debating it. I debate it.
Man, come on, have a good time with us.
It's about a 2-hour drive. It ain't nothing. So
man, right there. A lot of Southern fans and Alabama State folks going to be coming over from Atlanta. For me, that's going to be a good matchup. I like when we go there because I like when people can actually talk shit. They may not be doing it tonight, but I know they're going to be doing it when we get to the stadium. So I look forward to that game. Traditionally, it's been a great matchup, so that's where I'll be.
Any folding chairs?
Oh, I might have to bop me a nigga in the head or something. Not even a nigga or something, I think they got that already. They got that taken care of over there. We should be good.
Oh man, hey Rube, you tailgating down in the Gump? man. We might take a trip. We might take.
That's what I'm saying, man. You can't let Southern get that close and you don't come over there and check us out now.
Listen, Key, anything with Southern, she's all down.
Hey, Key, I know you're listening. Come on, girl. Come on down.
We gotta find a babysitter. Figure it out.
Bring them babies. They'll fall in love with Southern. Come on. Bring them on over there.
That's the problem.
That's you.
Key wanted
to gatekeeper. You gatekeeper.
Key wanted to fall in love. I'm good on falling in love. You know what I'm saying? But I'll keep it. We'll see what we talk about. I'll bring it up with Key, see what she feels, because it is a 2-hour drive. What time is the game?
I think at 5. I think kickoff is at 5.
2.
So you hit the road about 1, 2. Come on in there.
2, you know what I'm saying? Game. Oh man, that's a turn and burn. After the game, we're gonna have to come back to the crib. So I'll see what we talk about. I'll see what they talk about.
But yeah, that's what I got coming up, man. I'll be watching the rest of these games. Week 1, Scotty, we finally here. We done bullshit our way through it.
Boy, listen. just pulling stuff out the hat. Just pulling stuff out the hat, man. Just pulling it out the hat, trying to make it work. But hey, guys, man, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all back here next Monday for another Outspoken, where we do a week 1 review and then do a week 2 preview of what's coming up, man. Listen, until next time. Hey, listen, man. You see my co-host ain't with the bull crap. Don't call in with the MFs. Let's just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Now I will
call in motherfuckers around here. All right, we the only ones get to do it. Don't call us doing it.
Now A&M, I took up for y'all for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I took up for y'all for a little bit. So just remember that. Next time, y'all, I'll walk around a tailgate or two, and y'all don't feed nobody. Just remember that. I just want y'all to remember that.
I know they don't like me, but guess what? They got to come to Baton Rouge this year. Right? They got to come to Baton Rouge this year. So
show them what some hospitality look like. Show them what hospitality look like.
We ain't no stingy niggas around here. Okay, we very hospitable.
Man. But listen, man. Until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.